the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance Company's pregame show. Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Pomeroy. On tonight's game, we'll feature two undefeated powerhouses in a rivalry within the newly reformed District 1, also known as the Catholic League. The 7-0 UHIGH Cubs have traveled to Denham Springs to face a Yellow Jackets team that's coming off 2 consecutive weeks of losses. In Abbeville, our other undefeated team, the Vermilion Catholic Eagles, will face the Eunice Bobcats. But before we go there, let's go west to City Park's Tad Gormley Stadium for one of the state's great rivalries between the Archbishop Brummel Raiders, who are looking to dash the homecoming hopes of the Jesuit Blue Jays. Cox 4's resident NOLA Catholic League expert, Eric Ritchie, is standing by with Rummel alumnus Brandon Rizzuto to tell us who and what to watch during this week's highly anticipated matchup. Guys, some beautiful weather for football. Tell us about tonight's game.
Jessica, thanks. Here at Tad Gormley Stadium, Eric Ritchie alongside Brandon Rizzuto. And yes, it is good Catholic League action at its finest. Rummel and Jesuit alongside Brandon Rizzuto. And Brandon, as opposed to the last 2 years that these two teams met, both years they were 8-0 going into this game. This year, they both have the same record again, but this time it's 4-3. But it takes nothing away from this Catholic League rivalry as we get closer to the postseason.
Always one of the marquee rivalries here in the city, Rummel versus Jesuit. It's going to be a great game no matter what the records are. We're happy to be here tonight on the Cox 4 game of the week.
For visiting Rummel, of course, coming off a tough loss to St. Aug, where they had came back actually down 7 late in that game, but just too much Leonard Fournette.
Absolutely. It's St. Aug's cream of the crop this year. Everybody knows that. A lot of talent, a lot of players. Just too much for Rummel to overcome this year. St. Aug's got some things coming for them in the playoffs.
A pick 6 by Fournette to end that game made it a 14-point game. It was a lot closer than that at the actual game. Now, as far as homecoming for Jesuit, Wade Kaiser says no distractions here in the Catholic League. We've got a good game, and we've got a good team coming off a 24-17 win over Shaw.
Yeah, this Jesuit team pulling off that win was huge. Lost a couple games down the stretch in the final minutes. To get that win was big. Iron out some of the kinks. They're hyped up to be in this game here tonight, Eric.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be a fantastic football game. And again, it's one where we're talking about Rummel coming off a state championship. They've been up and down, 4-3 overall. Both teams identical Catholic League records. It's going to be a great game, Brandon.
Oh, absolutely. We want you guys to stick around. We're going to kick off at 7:30, so it's going to be a great time.
Extended dance mix version pregame show here at Tad Gormley still ahead. But for now, for Brandon, I'm Eric. Let's send it to Jeff and Jason in Baton Rouge.
What should be an excellent football game on week 8 of the high school football season as the #1 ranked team in Class 3A, the UHIGH Cubs, take on the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Palermo, along with my broadcast partner Jason DeQuire, and this should be a fantastic game. Obviously Denham looking to pull off the upset, and UHIGH's had a tremendous season. When you take a look at what they have done this season, Jason, they've scored a bunch of points, and they're undefeated so far, and a couple weeks ago they had a huge win over Parkview Baptist.
Yeah, Jeff, and that's why they're the #1 ranked team in 3A, but tonight they're going up against a 5A team. But when you look at this UHIGH team, one of the most explosive offenses in the state, led by Nick Brosette and Manny Miles. But tonight, again, they're going up against a 5A team who may have a little bit more depth and a little bit more, in terms of weight and speed. But at the end of the day, I think that it's going to be a very good ball game.
Well, there's always all this talk about Nick Brosette, the fantastic running back for the UHIGH Cubs, but really the guy that has been maybe the most consistent on this Cubs offense is Manny Miles, the son of head coach Les Miles, the quarterback for the Cubs.
That's right, and to spend a little time talking about Manny Miles, not because he's the son of Les Miles, but because he can flat out play football. He's averaging over 200 yards a game. He's got 13 touchdowns on the season, and he's got more than 1,300 yards passing. He's a phenomenal athlete, also a baseball player, and Manny Miles is really who UHIGH needs to get them going.
Denham Springs comes into this game with a record of 3-4, a couple of tough losses to Scotlandville and Central. hopefully they'll play good here tonight. I think they will. Drew Nettles always has his team ready to play.
Yeah, and for Denham Springs, it's going to have to start on the defensive side of the ball. They're really going to have to get this UHIGH offense off of the field. They're going to have to make some stops, and it's going to have to start in the secondary with Cole Spear.
Yeah, Cole Spear is one guy that we'll be keeping an eye on today, Jason.
Yeah, and Cole Spear, their strong safety. He's second in the team in tackles. He's got 2 interceptions on the season. He's really their quarterback on defense, and if this Denham Springs team has a chance to stop this high-power offense of UHIGH, it's going to have to start with Cole Spear.
Well, that's it from Denham Springs. Let's now go to Abbeville, where Patrick Wright and Joel Davis are standing by.
All right, thanks, Jeff. We are the Acadiana Cox game of the week. We are down in Abbeville for what should be an interesting matchup. I'm Patrick Wright along with Joel Davis. It's a 1A, 4A matchup. The undefeated Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles and the Eunice Battling Bobcats. Vermilion Catholic 7-0. They're 4-0 in district play. Eunice 5-2, and they are 3-1 in district play. But, for week 8, to kind of take a step out of district for a big game like this, it should be a good one tonight.
Well, a lot of people are saying this is the best game in the state of Louisiana tonight, and it's hard to deny that. I mean, both of these teams are accustomed to winning. You look at the last 30 games for Vermilion Catholic, they're 29-1. I mean, and Eunice is winning games left and right as well. So 2 very talented football teams, two teams that are storied at winning games, and it's going to be a challenge tonight for Vermilion Catholic. You know, Eunice is the team that beat Rain last week, and Rain's a very good football team. So it's going to be a challenge for Vermilion Catholic, but if they can score 28 to 30 points in this game, they can win this game.
It's a battle of 2 really good running backs tonight,
Yeah.
both of which could potentially go over 1,000 yards tonight. First, Eunice's Darius Richard.
Well, Darius Richard, 5'10", 185 pounds. Just one of those backs that can pound it between the tackles, can also take it the distance if given an opportunity if they're blocking on the outside. You know, he's got over 800 yards on the season. He is a talent, that he is very dangerous, 7 touchdowns on the season. Watch number 26 tonight. If he gets going, it's going to be a long night for Vermilion Catholic.
And Mike Campbell, the outstanding running back for Vermilion Catholic. He's got about the same amount of yards in an offense that's a little more fast-paced.
Yeah, no question. He's coming out of a spread formation, like to spread those defenses out and give him angles and give him separation and get him off, not having to really bang inside. But he's a big guy, 5'9", 185 pounds, and if he has to bang, he can. But he's also a player that you need to keep your eyes on defensively because he can get it done.
Eunice and Vermilion Catholic from Screaming Eagle Stadium. Let's go back to the studio and Jessica.
Thanks so much, Joel and Patrick. When we return, we'll check in with our great community partners that help bring us these games to you every week. Keep it right here.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chicken that happens to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Enjoy the sweet life at Comfort Suites Oil Center, Lafayette's newest all-suite hotel. You can always count on spacious guest rooms, affordable rates, and true Southern hospitality. Plenty of extras such as hot buffet breakfast, free high-speed internet, exercise room and swimming pool, and a well-appointed conference room. Call for reservations today at 337-456-8390 or visit us online at www.choicehotels.com. Comfort Suites Hotel in Lafayette, 114 Rue Ferdinand, off Pinhook behind Chili's.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
For over 40 years, Louisiana's original coffee put the joie into vie with its big, rich flavor. Now, Mellow Joy is back, and people are waking up to the original Cajun coffee. At work, the joy continues with a full line of satisfying coffees. Dark roast, between roast, medium roast, and decaffeinated. Of course, some people take their joy where their work takes them. Our best restaurants have discovered Mellow Joy as the perfect ending to a fine meal. Experience pure joy, Mellow Joy Coffee.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's go back to Tad Gormley Stadium to find out which of our awesome sponsors is with Haley Acero.
Thanks so much, Jessica, and welcome back to the beautiful Ted Gormley Stadium. Joining me now from the Marine Corps, Staff Sergeant Munoz. Staff Sergeant, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. First, let's talk about why is it so important for the Marine Corps to be out here at the Cox 4 Game of the Week?
The importance with the Marine Corps being out here at the Cox 4 Game of the Week is to expose the Marine Corps in the community, show them that we are involved in the community, whether it be the Friday night football games, Thursday night football games, or whether it's like myself, I'm involved with a lot of music organizations around the community. McDonald 35 High School, Warren East and Destrehan High School, and Star Martin helps out with the basketball teams.
Now, for those wanting to get involved, what qualifications do you have in the Marine Corps?
All qualifications, there's a 3-tier qualification process. It's very basic. Morally qualified, physically qualified, and mentally qualified. Mentally qualified, I want to break that stipulation. GEDs are no longer accepted in the Marine Corps. We're looking for high school diploma, high school graduates, being able to pass their ASVAB with a 50 or above. Moral qualifications, we look at misdemeanors on a case-by-case basis. We don't take felonies, as well as physically qualified. I don't care if you're doing 3 pull-ups, 2 pull-ups, whatever it is. We're looking for that you're sound medically.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. We all know what it takes to be a Marine. Not everybody has it. Always a pleasure. Jim Hogg, let's send it to you in Baton Rouge.
Livingston Parish President Leighton Ricks. Leighton, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful Friday night in Livingston Parish with the Denham Springs Yellow Jacket Football Stadium. Weather's perfect. It don't get much better than this, Jim.
Leighton Ricks, I got to tell you, not only are you a great leader for Livingston Parish, you've done a lot of incredible things to keep this parish moving forward. And there's a couple of things we want to talk about tonight. I know you're really excited about the Jubin Crossing. Tell us about that.
Listen, Jubin Crossing has been in the works with a lot of obstacles and things to go through over the last 6 or 7 years. But we now know it's here, it's real, it's going to kick off next week. Livingston Parish residents will be able to drive by and see work going on. And I think it's an awesome thing economically as far as jobs it's going to create, the tax dollars it's going to bring in. I can't say enough good things about Stephen Keller and Creekstone. They have persevered through a lot, Jim, to get us here. But what exciting news for Livingston Parish. It's finally going to be a reality.
That's fantastic. Jubin Crossing is coming, and people are going to be moving out here. Businesses are going to be coming out here. The low tax rate, the quality of life, the great educational system out here, the tourism, everything else is just fantastic in Livingston Parish.
It is. And before you move on, let me just mention Jacob Facurian developing his property south of Bass Pro Boulevard is bringing some excellent things on that 33-acre development right there south of Bass Pro Boulevard. Hey, guys, it's moving across Livingston Parish.
It's fantastic. Right. Now, you've got some great news about the cleanup with the Gustav.
Well, yeah, Hurricane Gustav came through several years ago. For the last 4 or 5 years, we've been dealing with appeals, ups and downs in that regard. This morning, Jim, I just got off a phone conference call, actually this afternoon. It is official now. Livingston Parish will be offered arbitration, which means we have new life in the chance of finally getting all of our people paid in Livingston Parish that worked so hard to clean up from a huge disaster years ago. It's a great weekend in Livingston Parish.
It's a great week for Livingston Parish. Thanks to you, great leaders and great stewards in building a better Livingston Parish. And right here, Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish President, thank you so much for all what you do for not only the parish, but for supporting these kids and your sponsorship and partnership of bringing these high school football games tonight.
It's my pleasure, Jim. I'm a servant first. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leighton. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jim. Livingston Parish has some great things going on. So glad to hear that. When we return, we'll check in with our friends at Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chickens that happen to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Enjoy the sweet life at Comfort Suites Oil Center, Lafayette's newest all-suite hotel. You can always count on spacious guest rooms, affordable rates, and true Southern hospitality. Plenty of extras such as hot buffet breakfast, free high-speed internet, exercise room and swimming pool, and a well-appointed conference room. Call for reservations today at 337-456-8390 or visit us online at www.choicehotels.com. Comfort Suites Hotel in Lafayette, 114 Rue Ferdinand, off Pinhook behind Chili's.
I go to work every day, and I love doing what I'm doing, and I love being a part of Livingston Parish, and to be elected sheriff, to be able to lead Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office is just such an honor for me, and so I'm very excited about not only where we're at today, but where we're going to be at in the future. The parish is so special to the citizens. They work with the Sheriff's Office, they trust the Sheriff's Office. Our community stands behind us 100%, and they get involved. They don't want crime in Livingston Parish.
Welcome back. Peak Performance has a variety of therapy methods that can help speed up healing from impact injury, wear and tear, or even surgery. One of those methods involves getting a little wet though. Let's hear what Fabian Roussel has to say about their aquatic therapy techniques.
Thank you. I'm standing here with Fabian Roussel, who is one of Cox's longest sponsors. He's a partner with Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Now, Fabian, I know that you guys offer a lot of different things at Peak Performance Physical Therapy, but one of the things that you offer is aquatic therapy. Could you please tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, what aquatic therapy is that many of our patients are unable to perform land-based type of exercises. So what aquatic therapy does is by having them in water, the buoyancy of the water decreases some of the weight on their joints. So we could be treating anything from an athlete who is trying to recover back to return to play, or maybe an older patient who has a lot of arthritis and weight-bearing exercise is just too much for them. So we can get them in the water, we can have it set a warmer temperature which is comfortable on the joints, and we can take them to a series of exercises, anything from walking to actually doing leg exercises or just any type of specific movements through the pool.
Great. And what type of activities do you typically take your clients or athletes through whenever they need the aquatic therapy?
Usually we start those type of athletes first in the pool, okay? And what we do is by taking them through the pool, again, we decrease the buoyancy, decrease the body weight, the stress on the joints, build a base or build a foundation. When pain is permitting and when their prognosis from their injury is permitting, we get them on land, and then we start getting them on land-based exercises, because as we know, in order for them to function, they have to be able to run, cut, pivot, twist, and then those joints are then ready to take on that stress.
Great. Well, thank you so much for informing me a little bit more on the aquatic therapy. If any of our viewers out there have any other issues, you should come see our guys at Peak Performance Physical Therapy for any of your needs. They have 6 locations, one nearest you. Back to you.
For more information on aquatic therapy, you can visit Peak Performance Physical Therapy at peakphysicaltherapy.com. Another great partner of the Cox 4 Game of the Week is Livingston Parish. We just heard some great news from them. Let's go back to the home of the Yellow Jackets to see what's going on in Denham Springs.
We're here talking to a couple of guests about all the exciting things going on in Livingston Parish, and we're going to start with Randy Rogers from the Livingston Economic Development Council. And Randy, business is booming. What's all going on?
Blair, it's been great here in Livingston Parish for yet another year. We're seeing retail activity and new restaurants all over the parish, from the Bass Pro and Riverside Landing area in Denham Jubin Crossing is finally breaking down. The stores are breaking ground. The stores are about to get underway. The streets, the whole development, and even in Albany, in the Springfield area, we've seen some new retail. Manufacturers, we've opened a new metal fabrication operation over at Albany, Quality Iron, and in Superior Steel's moved into here in the Denham Springs area. And we're seeing things happening in Watts and even in Marpaw in the southern part of the parish. Some new stores are opening up. LEDC is now in its 31st year of operation. We're proud to be part of this community, proud to be providing new jobs and new quality investment in Livingston Parish, and we expect this trend to continue in 2014. Looks even better.
Lot to look forward to. Thank you so much. And we're also talking to Jonathan Taylor, aka JT, and he's from the Livingston Parish Tourism. And tell us what's going on in November as far as events. What can people look forward to there?
Well, in November 9th, we have the Veterans Day program at Walker High School. It's a parade and program for the veterans. Also, the last weekend of November, we have Antique District Christmas open house, so come visit. You can visit our website, livingstontourism.com, check out all the great events, visit us on Facebook, and we like to see the growth, Mr. Andy, because with that comes hotels and RV parks and people moving into the parish, so it's a great time. We're glad to be a part of it.
All right, lots to get excited about once again. Lots of good things going on at Livingston Parish. Thank you both, and for now, back to you.
Thanks so much, Blair. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check in with Emily Massey over in Abbeville.
For over 40 years, Louisiana's original coffee put the joie into vie with its big, rich flavor. Now, Mellow Joy is back, and people are waking up to the original Cajun coffee. At work, the joy continues with a full line of satisfying coffees. Dark roast, between roast, medium roast, and decaffeinated. Of course, some people take their joy where their work takes them. Our best restaurants have discovered Mellow Joy as the perfect ending to a fine meal. Experience pure joy, Mellow Joy coffee.
I'm Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish, and Livingston Parish is on the move. One of the primary things that we ran on was developing business and jobs in Livingston Parish for our people. So that we can bring, obviously, additional revenue to be able to support our infrastructure needs. We're going to continue to progress here in Livingston Parish. When everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might want to make decisions based on service and savings, not because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood because we're based in Louisiana with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Welcome back, everyone. As our time winds down on the pregame show, we only have one more stop to make, and that's with Emily Massey. She's in the Eagle's Nest at Vermilion Catholic, standing by to tell us more about the real service, real people at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Two Farm Bureau agents from Abbeville. This is Christine and this is Richard. Christine, what does it mean to be, for you, what does it mean to be a longtime sponsor of the Game of the Week?
I think it's very important. Farm Bureau has always been about service and helping other people. And it gives us a chance to support our youth in the community.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. And this is Richard here. He's another agent for Farm Bureau here in Abbeville. Can you tell me a little bit more about the products that you guys have going on down here?
Yes, we have auto insurance, life insurance, health insurance, and homeowners insurance. Your regular mom and pop shop, you know. So we pride ourselves on service is what we pride ourselves on.
And what are some of your locations here around Abbeville?
We have 4 locations in the parish. We have a Gator office, a Maurice office, we have an Abbeville office, and a Kaplan office. So we spread ourselves pretty wide throughout the parish.
And how many agents would you say work at each office?
Well, we have total agents. We have 8 agents throughout the parish, so we're able to service everybody in the parish of 1 million. So it really is a good spread throughout every agent.
And what is the best way for the viewers out there to contact you guys?
Well, you can look us up on the web at www.1millionfarmbureau.com, or you can call any of one of our local offices throughout the parish.
All right, thanks guys so much for joining me here on the sidelines tonight during our pregame show. All right, guys. Thank you.
Enjoy the sweet life at Comfort Suites Oil Center, Lafayette's newest all-suite hotel. You can always count on spacious guest rooms, affordable rates, and true Southern hospitality. Plenty of extras such as hot buffet breakfast, free high-speed internet, exercise room and swimming pool, and a well-appointed conference room. Call for reservations today at 337-456-8390 or visit us online at www.choicehotels.com. Comfort Suites Hotel in Lafayette, 114 Rue Ferdinand, off Pinhook behind Chili's. Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Livingston Parish is the place to locate or expand your business. Hi, I'm Randy Rogers, President of the Livingston Economic Development Council. Livingston Parish has become a choice location for business, whether industrial, commercial, retail, or health services. We have prime locations throughout the parish. When coupled with an excellent public school system, a great quality of life, and a positive pro-business attitude, Livingston Parish is the place to locate or expand your business. Let us assist your plans today.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood. Because we're based in Louisiana, with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to sign off from the studio and turn it over to our teams on location. One note before I leave you, though. Viewers tuning in to the game of the week right now between the Jesuit Blue Jays and the Archbishop Rummel Raiders, kickoff is set for 7:30. But our teams at the stadium have all the stats, interviews, and highlights you need to get ready for the big game, so keep it right here. Our other 2 matchups between the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets and the UHIGH Cubs and the Vermilion Catholic Eagles versus the Eunice Bobcats are set to go in just a few short minutes, though. I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Cox4LA. And if you missed anything with the game of the week in your area or want to see a matchup that you didn't air in your city, we've got you covered. For all the game of the week, you can go to Cox On Demand, channel 2638. And again, about Twitter, you can send us scores and anything that you have going on so we can get it to you as fast as you're going to get it to us. That's at Cox4LA and use the hashtag GOTW for Game of the Week. You can catch the weekly rewind, collisions of the week, and coaches interviews and our sponsor Spotlight on our YouTube channel, Cox4 Louisiana. That's it from us in the studio. Kickoff starts right now.
Pretty,
yeah, well,
he looks pretty athletic.
Yeah, and there was no reason to ask whether he was related. So.
Glad I didn't ask. I thought of that too when I saw it.
Where did they go? The coaches?
Week 8 of the high school football season takes the Cox 4 game of the week to Livingston Parish, where the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets look to pull off the upset and its biggest win of the season as they host the top-ranked team in Class 3A, the UHIGH Cubs. Chad Mahaffey's team undefeated on the season, and they will try to keep from being stung by the Yellow Jackets tonight here on the Cox 4 game of the week. Hello, I'm Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. Jason, let's get right to the keys to victory, brought to you by U.S. Marines.
Yeah, and this UHIGH Cub playing against a 5A team, they need to be physical against that big offensive line of Denham Springs. They're going to try to pound the football. Of course, we know about the high-octane offense. They need to execute on offense, and then they have to bring down Anthony Bracey, the senior tailback for Denham Springs, if they're going to stop that running game.
Now let's take a look at the keys to victory for Drew Nettles and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets.
And the Denham Springs team needs to control the football. They want to melt the clock a little bit. Don't give UHIGH as many possessions on offense to get that offense going. And then they need to take advantage of their scoring opportunities as well. They're talking to Drew Nettles. He said he needs to finish drives and put the ball in the end zone if they're going to have an opportunity. And then they must create turnovers against this UHIGH offense. They need an extra few possessions in this game, Jeff, if they're going to have a shot.
For Denham Springs, they have had some injury issues at the quarterback position. For more on that, let's go down to the sidelines and the third member of our broadcast team, Blair Abaney. Blair?
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, a little bit of problematic injury when it comes to the quarterback position for Denham Springs. Earlier in the season, their starting quarterback, Matt Irwin, went out with a broken collarbone. And so what they did was they put sophomore Torres Kinchin in his place. Well, last week when they were playing Scotlandville, a little scare because he sprained his knee during that game. But the good news, it is a minor sprain, so he's been able to practice throughout the week with not a whole lot of difficulty, and he is going to be playing tonight. Now, you will see a brace on that knee, but he will be out there and he should be fine. At least we're hoping so. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Blair. A perfect night for high school football. A little chill in the air. If you didn't bring a jacket or blanket to the game, you could be in trouble coming by the second half, but still a great night for high school football, and we are glad to be here with you. We saw UHIGH earlier this season. They blew out Turlings Catholic 41-15. They have not lost a game this season. Their marquee win was a couple weeks ago when they defeated Parkview Baptist 42-35. That was a game they definitely had a fight through 4 quarters. Usually, Jason, they get up so big by the 4th quarter, all their starters are out of the game.
Yeah, and these two teams have a lot of motivation coming into this game. You think, hey, it's not a big district matchup, but this UHIGH team is going up against a 5A team, so they're going to be motivated for that challenge. And the Denham Springs players wants to measure themselves against these skilled players of UHIGH, and they want to show that, hey, we're just as good as you are. We put our uniform on the same way, and we think we can play with you.
Matthew Berg with the kickoff. It's in the direction of Elton Knight, who fumbles it, picks it up at the 5-yard line, and he is in all kinds of trouble. Tackled quickly on the play by Dylan Moses. He was there. Of course, a lot of talk about Dylan Moses being a young man that's already been on the cover of ESPN magazine. Torres Kinchin is the starting quarterback for the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. He's just a sophomore on the season, 19 of 42 for 221 yards. And as Blair told you, he is getting the start because Matt Irwin, the season opening starter, is out for the year with a broken collarbone. You'll see Denham Springs, they'll like to try to run the football. They're going to want to try, as Jason mentioned in the keys, try to control the clock. And as the key is, can they win the battle of the line of scrimmage? They weren't able to do it there as B.J. Armstrong got the carry for Denham and back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Denham Spring Yellow Jackets. That's a big offensive line. Ty Miller, Taylor White, Keaton Atwell, Dylan Combray, and John Henderson. And then your skill position players, Anthony Bracey, Darrell Washington Jr. is the fullback, Keandre Brooks, Nolan Satcher, Kyle Thames, and also in that backfield is B.J. Armstrong, number 6, as Torres Kinchin barking out the signals. No gain on that first carry of the night for Denham Springs. They go on the ground again, and not much doing there as that UHIGH defense, very difficult to run the football on, and it's going to be 3rd down and long for Denham to begin this football game. Now, The starting lineups for the UHIGH Cubs brought to you by Peak Performance Physical Therapy, Bo Navarre, Greg Bowser, Sam Wharton, and John Guidry. A very disruptive group there. Couple linebackers, Larion James and Dylan Moses. Moses, just a freshman. And then the secondary, Trey Jackson, Malik Antoine, Jalen Baker. And Torres Kinchin on third down calls a timeout. So Denham Springs burns a timeout early in this football game from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We'll take a break. We'll see what Denham Springs can do on third down when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
The great reasons to possess the ultimate driving machine, we've added 2,000 more. Now at Brian Harris BMW, get $2,000 in instant build-out cash on remaining 2013 X5. $2,000 in cash assistance to qualified buyers. Plus, enjoy an option credit of $1,000 on 2014 5 Series and $750 on 2014 3 Series BMWs. Hurry, it's a limited time offer at Brian Harris BMW, airline at Industriplex.
Hello, Domino's. Can I take your order? Was that Terry or Mary? Let's be honest. Ordering Domino's over the phone isn't always that great. Gary. Oh, I was way off. Can I put you on hold for 1 second? Hey, I'm back. No one's on this line.
But the new Domino's.com is easier than ever. Now you can save your favorite order, all your info, and then reorder in as little as 30 seconds. Way faster than calling the store.
Hello, you in a tunnel? Am I in a tunnel? No.
Order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each at Domino's.com and see how fast it really is.
Cox 4 Game of the Week is brought to you by Louisiana Lift. At Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. And by Rockstar Racing, Baton Rouge's premier and only indoor kart racing facility. Come by after the game for a $10 special. Rockstar Racing, a fun, family-friendly environment. And by Leighton Ricks, president of Livingston Parish, one of the fastest-growing parishes in Louisiana with vast opportunities for families to grow and flourish. Third down and 10 for the sophomore quarterback, Torres Kinchin. And he'll go to the air. Over the middle of the field, and the pass is caught on the play, and that's going to be enough for a first down for the Yellow Jackets, who convert on third down. Nolan Thatcher, his 12th catch of the season, puts him over 100 yards for receiving yards on the season. Big third down pickup there for Drew Nettles and the Denham Spring Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, hey, why burn a timeout that early? But you're backed up in your own territory, a big third down conversion. And that's why you call a timeout. Make sure that you get the play that you need and don't put yourself behind early in this football game.
Denham has had success on third downs this season. They've converted 41% of the time on third downs. They go to the ground here, and there you go. Dylan Moses, the freshman who's already committed to LSU, makes a big play on first down.
Yeah, and you see a good look at Dylan Moses there. As you mentioned, Jeff, he's been featured on ESPN, the cover of the magazine. And, you know, high school football is getting more and more public and more national attention at such an early level. You start to wonder some of the pressures that these kids have, particularly being featured on the cover of a magazine like that such early in his career.
6'2", 215 pounds. It's amazing to think he just turned 15 years old over the summer. Second down and 10 after that stuff by Moses, and back to the air once again, and the pass is incomplete. They tried to go to their top receiver, Keandre Brooks, and that brings up another third down and long. UHIGH allowing 19 points a game defensively. Denham Springs averaging 18 points, but as Coach Drew Nettles told us before the game, moving the football hasn't been the problem. Putting the ball in the end zone has.
Yeah, and they have to finish drives, and Coach Nettles knows it tonight. Playing against a team like UHIGH, a formidable opponent, they're going to have to finish drives, and they're going to have to make many conversions like this on third down.
4 wide receivers in this offensive set on third down and 10 for Torres Kinchin. Kinchin on a half roll. Here comes the pressure. Gets rid of it, and it's intercepted. Threw it right to the defender. That is Malik Antoine. Antoine cuts it back all the way the other way. Still on his feet across the 10, and then banged out of bounds by Nolan Thatcher. But a big interception there for UHIGH, and the young sophomore Kitchen will probably learn, you know what, just throw it away.
Yeah, there was nothing there, and it almost looks like it's just sort of underthrown. And here you go. You can see right here. It just kind of looks like it's underthrown. I mean, nobody really. Maybe he was trying to get it over the head of Malik Antoine, but a phenomenal athlete, Malik Antoine, one of the speedier players on this UHIGH team. And as you saw earlier in the drive on third down, they wanted to make sure a situation didn't happen like that, but unfortunately it struck here for the Yellow Jackets.
So UHIGH has great field position. Their first play from scrimmage, their starting quarterback, Manny Miles, and the handoff right up the middle is a touchdown for the Cubs. Nick Brosette scores for the 19th time this season on the ground, and the junior who came into this game with over 900 yards rushing gets UHIGH on the scoreboard right away. That turnover obviously very costly for Denham Springs.
Yeah, and obviously Coach Nettles knows how powerful this UHIGH offensive team is, but you can't give them the ball at the 10-yard line. I mean, that makes it just too easy. You want to make this team drive the field, a costly turnover, and you can see how quickly points are now on the board.
The holder for the UHIGH Cubs is Brant Broussard, and the extra point is good from Matthew Bird. So the UHIGH Cubs strike quickly here in this game. 9:06 left to go in the first quarter. They capitalize on the interception, and they lead it 7-0 over the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. We'll take a break. More coming up on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI, for a better life.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chicken that happens to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Denham Spring Yellow Jackets down 7-0. Their mascot, though, trying to get this big crowd that's on hand. One of the more rowdy or more fun student sections of high school football here in the Baton Rouge area is Denham Springs. This on the return is Elton Knight, and Knight's got a nice return. Still on his feet, and then they whistle him out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So nice job there by Elton Knight, who's averaging 19 yards a return. A kick, 44 is his long, and at least some better field position here for Torres Kinchin and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets offense.
Yeah, we saw the Yellow Jacket down there, and they're supposed to do the stinging, but on that first drive, Jeff, they actually got stung. But let's see if they can get something going. Much better field position. They were starting in very poor field position on the first drive, but much better field position for Mr. Kinchin here to operate.
They want to establish their running game, lined up in the I formation here, and here's the handoff, and this is Bracey. Bracey puts his head down and picks up a couple of yards. He's a senior, 5'8", 190 pounds, averaging 4.6 yards a carry. Tore his ACL in the season opener last year and just was cleared for practice and to return to the football field in August. So still trying to get some of that quickness and speed back. And he picks up 3 yards on his first carry of the night. 2nd down and 7 for the Yellow Jackets. Kinchin underneath center here. And once again, they go to Bracey, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. You see that quickness by the UHIGH defense. Just so tough to get consistent drives on because they have so many great athletes on that side of the ball. Larion James, he doesn't get much attention, the other linebacker for UHIGH, because a lot of the attention goes to Dylan Moses, but Larion James is also a standout linebacker. 2 young guys, a sophomore and a freshman, Jason.
Yeah, and that was John Guidry coming around the end on that last play. That is the son of the First Circuit Judge, John Michael Guidry, and he's a specimen to watch as well.
3rd down and 7. They go to the ground again. Bracey trying to at least bounce it outside. He ran over Chandler Johnson, but Johnson still there to make the tackle, so only a pickup of a yard. So Denham Springs just keeps it on the ground there after Kinchin threw the interception, but they're sending Kinchin back to the huddle here. Let's see if they decide to go for it on 4th down and 5.
Yeah, I can't see them going for it here, Jeff. I really think they need to punt it, maybe a pooch punt opportunity, but so early in the football game, I just can't imagine going for it here.
Let's see if they're just going to try to draw them off sides. 9 seconds on the play clock, and Denham Springs is going to use another timeout. Their second timeout they've already used, and there's still 6:57 left to go in the first quarter with the UHIGH Cubs up 7-0. Worth a shot, right?
Yeah, hey, let's see. It's 4th and 4, so if you're able to draw them off, then it's an automatic first down. So yeah, it is worth a shot there.
All right, we'll take a break. More coming up here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI, for a better life.
The 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is back October 24th through November 3rd. Right on the best all-new Midway in South Louisiana with more than 40 thrilling rides, great food and music, the all-new Noah's Way Petting Zoo, and much more. Go to gbrsf.com for special discount tickets. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair October 24th through November 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. Go to gbrsf.com.
7-0 is our score from Denham Springs. Jeff Palermo, Jason DeQuire, and Blair Abaney down on the sidelines. The UHIGH Cubs took advantage of an interception by Malik Antoine, and Nick Brosette quick. Oh, looks like they're going for a fake here on 4th down and 5. There's a flag down on the field, and Denham Springs doesn't get there. They tried a fake punt on 4th down and 5. Barclay Miller ended up taking the snap there.
Yeah, and UHIGH looked like it played it very well. They were in sort of their safe punt mode in case of a fake, and then typically after a long timeout like that, Jeff, you're going to be even more guarded as a defense or as a special teams preparing for a punt, and obviously UHIGH was prepared.
Here's the defense.
Wow.
It's 5 yards. That's going to be enough for a first down.
Terrence Mitch Marshall is our head official here tonight. So the face mask call against the UHIGH Cubs, and Denham Springs now has it at the Cubs' 40-yard line.
Well, and that's huge because they were not going to pick up that fake on that 4th down. So this is a huge play for the Denham Springs offense.
Double tight end look here for the Yellow Jackets as Kinchin underneath center again as they've moved into Cubs territory. Bracey hits the hole hard, and he is close to a first down before a pack of Cubs brings him down close to the 30-yard line. But nice run there in on the stop. Malik Antoine, who had that interception to set up the UHIGH touchdown.
Yeah, and a big momentum swinger here. Here you go. You can see here's Bracey bursting through the hole. A great pickup. As you can see, his power and ability getting right through that front of that UHIGH defense. But a big momentum swing where UHIGH may have been getting the ball at the 50-yard line. Now Denham Springs is approaching the red zone and an opportunity to score here.
You see number 79 there. He was in your screen. John Henderson, 6'7", 350 pounds. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, and they go to the ground, and Bracey again, a little room off the left side. But the Cubs there as they fly to the football so well. Larion James there defensively. Also there, Bo Bankston for the Cubs. And that was the concern for UHIGH going into this game. Well, there's always a lot of concerns for coaches, but going up against this big offensive line as you get another look at John Henderson.
Yeah, and Denham Springs wants to use their size and their strength and just try to overpower this UHIGH front. But, Torres Kinchin, sophomore, not the starting quarterback, so again, they want to try to run the ball. But, they're going to have to pick their chances to take and test this UHIGH secondary.
Brooks, the lone wide receiver in this offensive set on 2nd down and 9. They're going to go to the air, and they're going to go to Brooks in the double coverage, and the pass is incomplete. Brooks had yet to really finish his route. Kitchen had to get rid of it because there was pressure on him.
Yeah, but that was well played by UHIGH. There was really nothing there, and Coach Nettles was thinking, hey, we've had a few few good plays here, running the football, and let's take a shot down the field, but there was really nothing there for Kinchin on that play.
3rd down and 9, and with the football at the Cubs' 29-yard line, it's probably 4-down territory for Denham Springs. Really had to make a complete overhaul of this offense in the offseason as they had to replace 10 starters from last year's team. 3rd and 9, and the pressure in the backfield for UHIGH suffocates that play, and nothing happening for the Denham Springs ball carrier. Now it's 4th down and long.
Yeah, and obviously Coach Nettles not wanting to go to the air there. I think we've seen some, some plays already where Torres has tried to go to the air and it just wasn't there. Didn't want a costly mistake, but let's see, it probably outside the range of their field goal kicker, so I think they would have to go to the air here on 4th down, Jeff. John Guidry got into the Denham Springs backfield and made the stop, so 4th down and 12 at the UHIGH 32-yard line. Denham Springs 24% on 4th down conversions this season. Kitchen can't handle the snap, and then the ball is still on the ground, I believe, or did Kitchen pick it up? It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's going to be UHIGH's ball after it's all said and done, but that play had no chance after Kinchin could not handle the snap. And he did get the football back. Yeah, Kinchin was able to pick it up, and actually it looked like a good snap on the play, Jeff. He just drops it. Just doesn't look it in all the way, and of course that's going to kill all the timing and the momentum in the play, and there you see the UHIGH defense swarming him, and a turnover.
Give the credit to Chandler Johnson with the sack, and so now we get to see the UHIGH offense. Manny Miles, the son of Coach Les Miles, he's thrown for over 1,300 yards. He's completed 67% of his passes, 13 touchdowns, and the 5 interceptions. And he'll go to the air for the first time tonight. Nice touch on that football, but it bangs off of Brossette's shoulder. It's an incomplete pass. Brossette has only caught 6 passes this season. 2nd down and 10 as UHIGH tried to go to the air there. But they'll play a hurry-up offense, get back up to the line of scrimmage. As you can see, spread formation, 5 wide receivers here. 2nd and 10. And here comes the pressure on Miles, and Miles is going to be sacked. Eli Cawthon was one of the defenders there for the Yellow Jackets. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the UHIGH Cubs, brought to you by Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Garrett Brumfield, he's an LSU commitment. Drew Moore, he's a Louisiana Lafayette commitment. Andrew Stovall, Rule Walker, and then E.J. Oglesby. And there you take a look at the skill position players. Brant Broussard has had a really nice season with 17 catches. 3rd down and 10 for Miles. The pass is just a bit high for Devontae Dodson, and he got punished after not making that grab. Probably a pass he could have caught. Nice job defensively, Jabaris Thompson there. As we look at the rest of the Yellow Jackets starting lineup, brought to you by Peak Performance Physical Therapy. Miller, Priest, Cawthon, and Robinson. And then the linebackers, Tanner Kluout, Garrett Osborne, and George White is the strong safety. Cole Spear, Wes Brown, Jabaris Thompson, and Darian Wilson, who's a junior with 17 tackles on the season. So a 3 and out for the UHIGH Cubs. And out to punt is Manny Miles, but it's a high punt here, and it does take a Cubs bounce, and it rolls out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So nice defensive possession there for Denham Springs.
Yeah, definitely a victory for that Denham Springs defense. A 3 and out. UHIGH's forced to punt, and now they get a chance to get their offense back on the field, and most importantly, they're getting UHIGH's offense off of the field, and that's what they're going to have to do if they have a shot to win tonight.
So let's see if Denham Springs can get into a bit of a rhythm. It seems to me Torres Kinchin just needs to settle down in this game. He's thrown the interception. He had the fumbled snap on shotgun formation and 4th down. Just has to settle down, let the game come to him. Things are maybe moving a little bit too fast for the young man at this point. On the read option, they're going to hand it off, and B.J. Armstrong may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, actually give him a yard on the play. Armstrong has rushed for 363 yards. Not a big kid, 5'6", 139 pounds or so, but he's small and quick.
But you see Coach Nettles is sticking with his game plan. He wants to continue to pound the football, work on the clock, and we're getting down close to the end of the first quarter. You know, obviously they made the big turnover early on in the quarter, but he's going to stick with this game plan of continuing to pound the football.
2nd down and 9, under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. And the pass to the near side, incomplete. No, it's intercepted. It was batted up in the air, and Antoine has his 2nd interception of the night.
And that was not the quarterback's fault there. Actually, that ball was thrown pretty well. Yeah, he was covered, but he should have been able to make that catch. And again, Malik with his 2nd interception, as you mentioned, already in the first quarter.
Big night for that sophomore, but you're right, that ball a little bit too much on it. Batted up in the air, and Antoine intercepts the pass, and the Cubs are back in business. 1st down and 10 at the Denham Springs 27. Let's see if they go on the ground here to Nick Brosette after trying 3 passes, or at least attempting 3 passes. Manny Miles was sacked on one of those plays. And Brosette does have the football here, busts through the hole, picks up about 7 or 8. Earlier today, our Blair Abaney had a chance to talk with a Farm Bureau representative. Of course, Farm Bureau, a great sponsor of the Cox 4 Game of the Week, and here's that interview.
I'm down here talking to Lewis Ballinger of Farm Bureau Insurance. And Lewis, tell us, we're so appreciative that you sponsor the Cox 4 Game of the Week, but why is it that y'all find it so important to do that?
We believe it's important to give back to our community. We're a local insurance company. We're proud to sponsor and support our friends, neighbor, youth, and local teams.
And that's really what makes Farm Bureau so special, right? That's the benefit. It is local, it is personal.
Correct. Farm Bureau's been a part of Louisiana for over 60 years. We're going to be here for the long haul. You're going to get real service from real people. We provide personal local service at affordable rates.
And as far as the products, the different kinds of coverage that you do offer, what are those?
We offer all lines of insurance: auto insurance, homeowners, life insurance, health insurance, long-term care, commercial insurance. We have a full-service bank at our local offices.
And as far as your local offices go, where can people go to find you? Where are you located? What's the phone number?
You can find us in Watson at 32350 Louisiana Highway 16. The phone number is 665-4766, or you can call me on my cell at 202-1709, or we're on the web at livingstonfarmbureau.com.
And that is personal service. He's giving you a cell phone number. Thank you so much, Lewis. All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Blair. 4th down here for the UHIGH Cubs. Looks like they're going to go for it. Manny Miles underneath center. They pitch it out to Brosette. Brosette has got the 1st down and more, and he's into the end zone for another Cubs touchdown.
Well, and you get to see why Nick Brosette is so special. He doesn't need a whole lot of daylight. He saw a seam there, took advantage of it, and full speed ahead into the end zone, and a big 4th down conversion that turned into another 6 points for the UHIGH Cubs.
So 13 points for the UHIGH Cubs in this first quarter, and they come off of 2 turnovers that really gave them outstanding field position.
Yeah, and you can see the pitch, and then he sees that quick seam right there and just explodes off of it, of course showing you the power and the stiff arm in order to get himself into the end zone.
Bo Bankston had a nice block on that play, and the extra point try is through the upright. So just over a minute to go in this first quarter, and the UHIGH Cubs have already established a 14-0 lead in this non-district game. We'll take a break. More of the Cox 4 Game of the Week coming up after this.
If there's one truth in this life, you can't escape your demons. I thought I hung my tire chains up for good, but I can't shake this bad feeling that I haven't seen the last of my old friend.
Now, get 1.9 for 60 months on all 2014 Audis at Brian Harris Audi on Airline.
I go to work every day, and I love doing what I'm doing, and I love being a part of Livingston Parish, and to be elected sheriff, to be able to lead Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office is just such an honor for me. And so I'm very excited about not only where we're at today, but where we're going to be at in the future. The parish is so special to us. The citizens, they work with the Sheriff's Office. They trust the Sheriff's Office. Our community stands behind us 100%, and they get involved. They don't want crime in Livingston Parish.
Our ITI Technical College scoring drive, 4 plays, 27 yards, capped off on the 18-yard touchdown run by Nick Brosette on 4th down. And so Brosette has 2 touchdowns on the evening. He now has 20 rushing touchdowns. This is week 8 of the season, and he'll also eclipse the 1,000-yard mark tonight as well. granted or given that he'll have a good game, where he needed 75 yards rushing to get there, and he's got probably about 35 so far in this game.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll be a part of that future stable of running backs at LSU, but you could see that last possession was Brosette, and they rode him all the way into the end zone.
Elton Knight will get a chance. Last time it was a very nice return, and this time he fumbles the football. But the Yellow Jackets look like they have it, and they do. Boy, there was a big hit there that popped that football out. Casey Bolfa fell on it. Let's see who came in there and just dislodged this football from Knight.
Yeah, you can see here coming out of the right side of your screen. Oh, and that is a textbook style tackle. Head in the perfect position, locating the football, and is able to dislodge the football. Fortunately for Denham Springs, they're able to recover it. And I'm going to tell you, Jeff, if I'm Coach Nettles right now, I might take another timeout, bring my team over and say, don't turn the football over. You know, 2 turnovers has resulted in points here, and they're almost a costly turnover that could have resulted in another 6 points.
So some poor field position here for Denham Springs as they have it at their own 9-yard line. Bracey is the tailback in this offensive formation, and he'll get a chance to run the football. And a nice run here on first down, and it's enough for a first down. Give him about 12 or 13 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and you have to, here you go. You get to see Bracey. I'm really impressed in a couple runs already in this game, showing his power, and not only power, but protecting the football. As we were mentioning, no more turnovers, but that's how you protect the football. Kept those legs going and driving and grinding out extra yards, and Coach Nettles is sticking with his game plan. He's down a couple of scores, but he's going to stick with his game plan and running the football.
Bracey once again right up the middle, all the way up to the 45-yard line before he's brought down to the turf. Tackled on the play by Malik Antoine, but Bracey, couple nice runs to start off this drive.
And you can see why he's sticking with it. He really believes he can run the football, and he's doing that on this drive, and you can see here 2 great runs by Bracey.
Bracey's biggest influence is Adrian Peterson. That's the guy he looks up to the most, and both of them have something in common. Both of them have suffered ACL injuries, and Bracey trying to come back and have a great senior season, even though he had to spend all the offseason rehabbing. So Denham Springs will let the first quarter expire. The UHIGH Cubs lead at 14-0. 2 interceptions by Torres Kinchin set up the Cubs 2 touchdowns, but Denham Springs has got a drive mounting here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the Grand Slam hitter to grandparents. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the blue chip athlete to blue-collar worker. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Cox 4 Game of the Week is brought to you by Livingston Parish Economic Development Council, reminding you that Livingston Parish is the place to be, and by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and more. Real service, real people. And by Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. Jeff Palermo, Jason Acquire, and Blair Bainey down on the sidelines as we begin the second quarter from Yellow Jackets Stadium, one of the finer venues in all of Louisiana to watch high school football. Denham Springs down by 2 touchdowns, and UHIGH's defense standing up strong on that first down run. John Guidry, one of the defenders there for UHIGH, maybe a half a yard, that's about it.
Yeah, and John Guidry's already made a couple plays in this game, and I was talking with Coach Mahaffey before the game. He has really been impressed with the play of John Guidry. He can really get around the corner. He's got a motor on him. He's really impressed by his work ethic this season. You can see he's made some plays early in this football game.
2nd and 10 as Denham Springs gets back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of double tight formation. Darrell Washington is the fullback, lined up just a few yards behind Kitchen. And there is a whistle. Did the play clock expire? It's already got 25 seconds on it. We're going to have to hear from our head official again, Terrence Marshall.
72 white. Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5 yards.
Well, you heard one of the officials say Sam Wharton, number 72, a sophomore, was lined up in the neutral zone, so that gives Denham Springs 5 yards to work with, and it's 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, and that 5 yards is really going to help their running game because you know where they want to run the ball, and now they're in a 2nd and short situation.
B.J. Armstrong now the tailback on this offensive set for the Yellow Jackets, and he'll get the football. And he's got some room to run, and he's got a 1st down all the way up to the 41-yard line. Jalen Baker, a junior, in on the stop, but another 1st down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you can see there B.J. Armstrong is the quicker of the two. Obviously, you could see him exploit through that hold and show his shiftiness on that run.
Denham Springs averaging 4.6 yards a rush, and they've had some success running the football against this UHIGH defense. UHIGH came into this game, forced 19 turnovers, make that 21 as they had 2 interceptions in that first quarter that set up a couple of touchdowns for the Cubs. Another good run there. Oh, the ball comes out at the end, and now there's a scramble for it. And the official has already signaled that it's Denham Springs football. That would have been a bad break for the Yellow Jackets, but Denham Springs keeps it, and actually the forward fumble there will give Denham Springs a 1st down. On that note, let's send it down to Blair Abaney. Blair?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Jeremy Stevens from ITI, actually a former Yellow Jacket, but he's here to talk to us about ITI and about all the scholarships that are available for high school students. Tell us about those.
Yeah, there's scholarship opportunities available to all high school seniors. It's never too early to get this process started, to keep your options open, and there's no better time like the present.
And so what can they do? Where can they go to get more information about those scholarships that are available and their first steps to take to maybe apply?
They can go on our website. They can come into the school, meet with one of the admissions reps, and we'll get the process started for them. All they have to do is come in on campus and they'll meet with us, or they go on the website and get in contact with somebody from the school.
And there are a lot of different programs at ITI that they can choose from. Tell us about some of those.
Yeah, we have 11 different programs on campus, all ranging from the medical field to computer technologies, industrial field, and there's no better time like now to get into a trade under your belt because there will be a shortage of skilled workers in the next 5 to 7 years.
So even more reason to check it out. Thank you so much. It's a little bit distracting, but so much fun down here with the band, so forgive us, but for now, back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Blair, and Denham Springs on the move right now, as they have it at the 24-yard line. Coach Nettle said, once we get an opportunity to score, and they're in scoring position here, though, they got to convert on this 3rd and 3. They got to take advantage of these opportunities. Bracey has it straight ahead, and forward progress. I don't think he's got it.
No, I agree with you, Jeff. It looks like he might be a little short there, but I would imagine that Coach Nettles is automatically thinking he's going to go for it here.
4th down and a couple yards. 8.5 left to go before halftime.
And this is a key point in this game for Denham Springs in this drive. It's going to be critical at this point. If they're going to stay close with these UHIGH Cubs, they need to put some points on the board here.
So 4th down and 1, a long one. Bracey to tailback, Washington the fullback. Bracey gets it, trying to get, I think he's got the 1st down. Looks like he does. The official's going to mark him inside the 21. That's where he needed to get to at least the 21, and they're going to move the chains. And a nice drive here by Denham Springs. They've been keeping it on the ground, and it's been paying off so far.
Yeah, and they're sticking with their game plan. They're going to continue to try to power this thing. Of course, the early turnovers didn't help for that running game, but they're going to continue to power it, and they got a good surge off the right side of that line to pick up a crucial fourth down conversion.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. And throwing it towards the end zone and almost intercepted again by Malik Antoine.
Yeah, Malik Antoine, very active already, 2 interceptions. Played this one perfect, but the problem here is the football was underthrown. Torres Kinchin needed to get more on that football. He looked like he had his man open for a little while in that route, but he needed to get the football out of his hands earlier and put more distance on it.
Cox 4 thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast. Louisiana Lift, specializing in customer service on equipment rental, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. As they run the football once again, this is Jabari Thompson, and then a flag flies in late. You can check out Louisiana Lift online at lalift.com or call them in the Baton Rouge area at 753-5700. Here's our head official.
First man's incidental. UHIGH, 5 yards from the end of the run.
Well, it looks like they're inside the 20, so that might be the half
Still
the
second
distance
down.
variety. But again, that should be a first down, and it keeps this drive alive. And Denham Springs is still marching towards that end zone.
Denham Springs is inside the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau red zone as they have it at the 12-yard line. Second time tonight, a face mask penalty has been called against UHIGH as Kinchin gets underneath center. Armstrong, he's got some room to run right up the middle behind that big offensive line. That O-line averages 288 pounds, 3 seniors on it. Dylan Combray, Keaton Atwell, and Ty Miller. And those guys have been having a good game here tonight. That O-line has been able to establish some running room.
Yeah, no, I mean, Denham Springs has looked good running the football. I mean, that's what they want to do, and it's working into their philosophy. It's going to slow the game down. It's going to make these quarters go by faster, and most importantly, it keeps that UHIGH offense off of the field, so they're not getting their rhythm going. At the same time, you're getting down the field methodically with a chance to put points up.
Armstrong to tailback. In between the tackles once again, and he was met on the play at about the 5-yard line.
And Armstrong looks like a good complement to Bracey. Obviously, you have the thunder and lightning varieties, and Bracey obviously is more the power back, and Armstrong is more the shiftier back. And here you go, you get a good chance to see Armstrong try to work off of that big offensive line there for Denham Springs.
Second and goal at the 5-yard line. And this drive has really taken a lot of time off the clock as we're almost at the halfway point of the second quarter.
And I would suspect they're still going to keep the football on the ground here.
3 running backs in the backfield. And Kitchen rolls out, throws, and he catches it. Is Barclay Miller for a touchdown.
And I think UHIGH was suspecting that they were going to keep the football on the ground to keep it safe, keep the drive going. But a great play call by Coach Nettles, keeping his quarterback in a safe option, almost a run-pass option, get his quarterback out on the edge, and he can see that his man is clearly open there and makes a good, safe throw. There was nobody in the area of that throw, nobody even close to covering him, and you can see that Denham Springs is able to get themselves in the end zone and maybe with the extra point get it within one possession here.
So the 3-year starter on the defensive line, and that kick was blocked, so Denham Springs unable to add the extra point as the kicker, Zach Booth, has struggled a little bit with the extra points. He's now 11 of 17. But Denham Springs, they are on the scoreboard, 6:10 left to go. Before halftime, UHIGH leads it 14-6 over the Yellow Jackets here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
You can live the dream life right now at Suma Crossing Apartments in Livingston Parish. Imagine luxurious and affordable living where it is safe and the school systems are awesome. A quiet community with a private, well-stocked lake and a cool, relaxing swimming pool. Easy access for Baton Rouge commuters or students at Southeastern. It's not a dream, it's real and waiting for you. Come see Suma Crossing, exit 19 on I-12.
The only inside go-kart racing in Louisiana. Rockstars fast, Rockstars fun, and Rockstars real. Face it, Rockstar is for kids. Race like a rock star. We have an indoor and outdoor track. 225-214-0045. So, let's do it. Rockstar Racing, a real racing experience.
Cox Ford Game of the Week is brought to you by Livingston Parish Economic Development Council, reminding you that Livingston Parish is the place to be. And by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and more. Real service, real people. And by Monogram Express, we make ordinary gifts extraordinary. Well, that last drive there for Denham Springs is exactly how Drew Nettles drew it up. The head football coach for the Yellow Jackets, he wanted time of possession. He wanted long, sustained drives. And when they had an opportunity to score, he wanted 6, 7 points, whatever it may be. He wanted to make sure they didn't come away with nothing. And that was a very nice drive. Remember, that drive started all the way towards the end of the first quarter. And here they finally score with 6 minutes and 10 seconds. So a nice U.S. Marine scoring drive for the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets.
No, you're right, and that's the game plan Drew Nettles has for this game, to continue to run the ball, pound the ball, eat up the clock. And when you saw the Yellow Jacket that time, he was stinging the right team. He was stinging UHIGH, and he wasn't stinging himself, committing turnovers.
Well, an unfortunate return there for Chandler Johnson. He got his legs crossed up with one of his teammates, and he falls down to the ground. So only a couple of yards on the return, and so the UHIGH Cubs up by 8 will get back out on the field, and we haven't seen much of them. I think they've run, let's see, they ran 1 play for a touchdown, 3 plays and out, and then 4 plays, so they've run only 8 plays in this game, and we're halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, and most of those plays they've run have been only with very short yardage to go to the end zone because of the turnovers committed by Denham Springs. They have not had to drive this field yet.
Miles has that pass complete out on the flat, and it's caught, and moving upfield is Devontae Dodson, who's been bothered by an ankle injury. 16 catches now on the season for him. He's a senior, had a big game against Parkview where he had 3 touchdown catches.
Yeah, and here you go, a chance to see Miles throwing in rhythm to his wide receiver Devontae Dodson, and he's the real speed guy. He's the one who can make the difference.
And now here's Nick Brosette, and Brosette all the way up to about the 47-yard line. That's a huge run on that play of about 24 yards. And UHIGH on the move here, up by 8. They don't mess around. They quickly get up to the line of scrimmage. The chain crew on the other side barely got the chain set before that play started. And another pass out to the far side and caught on the play. That again by Devontae Dodson.
Yeah, and here you go. Yeah, quickly back up to the line. Here you go with the replay and ready to run the next play. Almost started that Oregon-style offense, but this team has really gotten to know each other. They've played with each other a couple years, and when you have an experienced ball club and they really know each other, you can make your offense do things very quickly, and everybody knows what each other is doing.
2nd down and 6, and there is flags as Jalen Baker was in motion. And UHIGH has been hit with the penalty bug in this game.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5 yards, 2nd down.
The best way to avoid an upset, Jason, is not to commit penalties, and the Cubs have had a handful called against them so far this game. 2nd down and about 11.
Yeah, in particular on defense.
Yeah.
Those big face mask penalties is what kept the Denham Springs drives alive that has resulted in points.
Miles looking downfield. Nice touch on this football, and he hits Dotson in stride for a UHIGH Cubs touchdown. That was sweet to watch. 47 yards on the touchdown pass play between Manny Miles and Devontae Dotson.
Yeah, beautiful route, beautiful precision, and in rhythm. And if anybody thinks that he's playing just because he's Les Miles' son, well, here you go. Take a look at this. I mean, that ball is thrown absolutely perfect. You can really see the talent of Manny Miles hitting his wide receiver in rhythm, and just a great strike, great pitch and catch there, and a big-time play for UHIGH Cubs.
Matthew Berg now will try the extra point as the Cubs get control of this football game back. So it's kind of like the turtle and the rabbit, right? Denham Springs, a slow, methodical drive, and then UHIGH comes right back at them. We'll take a break. 4:50 to go before halftime. 21-6 is our score here on the Cox Ford Game of the Week.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the soccer star to the soccer mom. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
There's a look at the U.S. Marine scoring drive. 5 plays and 77 yards. The 47-yard touchdown pass, which was a thing of beauty between Manny Miles and Devontae Dotson. For Manny, that is his 14th touchdown pass of the season. And for Dotson, that is his 8th touchdown catch of the year.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Nettles before the game, he knew he wanted to crowd the box and try to stop the run, and he knows that means some of his defensive backs are going to be on an island and isolated in man-on-man coverage, and you can see UHIGH was able to exploit that and take advantage.
Matthew Berg on the kickoff, and another return opportunity here for Elton Knight. Knight brought down on the play at about the 23-yard line. Tune in for the State Farm Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show Friday nights this fall from 9:30 to 11:30 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and simulcasting on 104.9 FM. Host Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy recap scores from all around the state and much more. The State Farm Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show Friday nights this fall from 9:30 to 11:30 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and simulcasting on 104.9 FM. 1st and 10 for Denham Springs, down by 15, and nothing doing there. Getting there defensively was John Guidry. Coach Chad Mahaffey for the Cubs talks about how his defensive line is disruptive up front, and they have been that way on several plays tonight.
And here you go. You see number 30, John Guidry, in there. Just, talk about that motor can't be blocked. And, I was talking to his dad before the game. He played a couple sports, but he says, look, my son is serious about football now. This is his focus, and you can see that focus is paying off.
2nd down and 11 as we approach the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Kitchen gets underneath center. And there's some room for Bracey, and he runs hard up to about the 30-yard line. Gets about 6 or 7 on that play.
Yeah, and that's big. That's a big 6 or 7 yards, because now it brings this 3rd down to more of a manageable situation. Really, they could run or throw it here. I'd really like to see them get Kinchin on the rollout or something on the move with sort of a run or pass option. And Kinchin has the ability to run a little bit, but they want to keep it safe. Can't make a big turnover here on this down.
They need to get to the 34-yard line as Kitchen gets underneath center. Double tight ends. Play action fake, and there's the rollout, and there's the pass, and it looks like it's complete, or was it knocked away? Knocked away there at the end. Great defensive play by Jalen Baker. Bailey Holstein was the intended receiver, an outstanding baseball player for the Yellow Jackets, but Jalen Baker, great defensive play, number 3.
Yeah, and I like the play call. I mean, it's the rollout, trying to get something safe. Great throw there. He was actually covered, but put it only where his guy could catch it. But you're right, just a great play by the defensive back to come in there and knock the ball away at the last minute. And, Denham Springs is going to have to punt this football.
So out to punt for the Yellow Jackets. Well, they're going to see what we have here. Yeah, Denham Springs now just a little late getting their special teams unit out there. Well, this is a big defensive drive coming up here for Denham Springs. They really cannot afford to fall behind by more than 2 scores at this point.
Yeah, no, you're right. First, they need to get a good punt off and try to change the field position, but then that defense is going to have to come out and try to get UHIGH off the field.
Matt Soroller's punt was blocked. Bankston tried to pick it up. It's going to be great field position for UHIGH, so they have really taken advantage of some Denham Springs mistakes. There's been 2 turnovers in this first half, and now a block punt, giving the Cubs great field position.
Yeah, and here you go. I mean, you see you got 2 personal protectors back there, but just comes through and busts through there. And, I mean, that's exactly how you're taught to do it, to take it off the punter's foot. He doesn't hit the punter. And, again, a great block. And, we talk about this high-octane offense at UHIGH, but, Denham Springs is not doing themselves any favor by putting them in short field situations.
1st and 10 at the Denham Springs 29-yard line. Brosette on the carry, looking for somewhere to run. He's got some blockers in front of you, or front of him. And he gets close to the 20-yard line before he's ushered out of bounds.
Well, and Jeff, we got a good chance to see Darius Geis at Catholic High last week and how he's able to keep the play alive. And, not one tackler is going to bring him down. And you got a good look to see there at Nick Brosette. Not an arm tackle is going to bring him down either. 2nd
down and 2 here as UHIGH checks with the sidelines for the play call with less than 3 minutes to go. Here in this first half from Yellow Jacket Stadium on a crisp night for football. Miles has got time to throw, and he goes to the end zone. Double coverage there, but his receiver catches it out of bounds. The intended receiver was Devontae Dotson. Him and Miles connected on a touchdown pass just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and he caught this out of bounds, but I tell you what, you can still see the athletic ability of Devontae Dotson. I thought, yeah, here we go to the replay, and you can see him just out-leap everybody. I mean, he's way up there and just out-leaps the 2 Denham Springs, but thankfully for Denham Springs, he caught that ball out of bounds.
3rd and 2 here on this play. Brosette gets the football, and he's got the first down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and here's where I think, again, you're probably going to see UHIGH just ride number 4 out. I mean, when you get down, he's so tough to bring down. He breaks tackles. He's a sure ball handler. He hasn't committed many turnovers, and, I really expect they'll probably ride him right here.
UHIGH inside the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau red zone. Brosette had a huge game a few weeks ago with 4 touchdowns against Bruley. Last week was the only week this season where he hasn't rushed for over 100 yards. Dotson makes the catch. Thompson tackles him, keeps him in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling as we move closer to the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. And it's going to be 2nd down and about 6 now for UHIGH.
Well, and Manny Miles is showing you he's got all the throws. Here's a quick hitter, and he does it, and he throws it in rhythm and in timing. And, Jeff, you mentioned it before. He's cerebral. I mean, he knows where his receivers are going to be, and he does everything in rhythm.
Miles will keep it here. He's got some good running ability as well. Very close to the first down. Jabaris Thompson on the stop, right near the first down marker. He doesn't run it too often. 98 rushing yards on the season coming into the game.
Well, with Brosette back there, he doesn't need to, Jeff.
No, he doesn't.
He's got some studs running the ball for him, and but he's a great athlete, a baseball pitcher as well, and the whole Miles family has a bunch of athletes in there, including the mom and the dad, obviously.
3rd and inches. They give it to Brosette. Brosette's got the first down. And then there's a flag on the play as well. Denham was bringing the blitz. They almost got to Brosette in the backfield. Let's see who this flag is on. Looks like it's going to be against the
On the play, hold him. It's the offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Well, again, the penalties continue to pile up against UHIGH. They've had several of them tonight.
Yeah, and that's a big penalty right there. Instead of a 3rd and 1, you're looking at a 3rd and 11. So it really gives this defense an opportunity to back UHIGH up and really clamp in right here and try to make a stop and make UHIGH make a decision on 4th down.
Looks like they called that penalty on Garrett Brumfield. He's the LSU commitment who will be playing in the Under Armour All-Star game. He was limited in practice this week with an injury. 3rd down and 11. Miles under pressure, gets out of it, looking downfield still. Now he's just going to run it to the 5, gets sandwiched. He's got enough, I think, for the 1st down. Yeah, he's got enough to the 4-yard line. And again, Manny Miles showing the ability that he can run the football. Not as good as Nick Brosette, but very quality runner for the quarterback.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be. All he needed to do was pick up the 1st down. But the most important thing about this play is he doesn't commit a turnover. You know, he doesn't throw. He doesn't force anything. He takes what the defense gives him, and he says, hey, look, I can tuck this, and I can pick up this 1st down. And he does, and now he gives UHIGH 4 opportunities to put the ball in the end zone.
38 seconds and counting. Brosette looking for his 3rd touchdown of the night, and he gets it.
Well, that's just power. I mean, you know, that guy there, I mean, he is tough to stop. I don't care what classification you're playing. But, again, you got to see a chance for the quick dive from the spread formation. And, you know, Brosette was not going to be denied on that play.
Great job by the UHIGH offensive line. This is a UHIGH team that has scored 40 or more points in 6 of the 7 games they've played. They're more than on their way to getting 40 points tonight here at Yellow Jacket Stadium. The extra point try coming up. And Berg's kick is through the uprights. 32 seconds left to go before halftime. 28-6, UHIGH leads Denham Springs here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
I'm Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish, and Livingston Parish is on the move. One of the primary things that we ran on was developing business and jobs in Livingston Parish for our people so that we can bring, obviously, additional revenue to be able to support our infrastructure needs. We're going to continue to progress here in Livingston Parish. When everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Insurance commercials have become unusually funny. We think that's strange because we take auto coverage pretty seriously at Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Of course, when you cover as many vehicles in Louisiana as we do, it doesn't leave a lot of time for silly gimmicks. We're more concerned about what happens to you on the road than any chicken that happens to cross it just to make you chuckle. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
28-6 is our score. The UHIGH Cubs leading the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Story in this game, 2 interceptions thrown by the Denham Springs quarterback Torres Kitchen, set up a couple of quick scores for UHIGH in the first quarter. Then there was a nice long drive for Denham Springs that took over 6 minutes to complete that resulted in a touchdown pass from Torres Kitchen. But the last 6 minutes of the second quarter have been dominated by UHIGH. On the return here for Denham Springs, making one man miss, but not getting much further than that, was Jabaris Thompson up to the 19-yard line. And with 23 seconds left to go before halftime, I'm sure Drew Nettles is going to play it safe after seeing his team commit 2 turnovers and then have a block punt that set up the 4th and final touchdown here of this first half for UHIGH.
Yeah, essentially it's like 3 turnovers, and that's what Coach Nettles is going to go into the locker room and tell his team, look, if you don't turn the football over, we have had some success in getting this offense off the field, but we can't hurt ourselves. We've hurt ourselves on 3 opportunities here tonight, and that has quickly resulted into points for UHIGH, and we've got to settle down and not turn the football over.
Kitchen will go to the air, caught by Bracey on the screenplay. And he's still on his feet as he broke a couple tackles, and he actually gets a first down on the play. There's an injured UHIGH player at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and let's see if we can.
And there's a flag. I thought that was a block in the back. Watch it here. should be right there. Yep, that's pretty obvious there. And unfortunately, Chandler Johnson looked like he got kind of sandwiched there.
Go to the 10 and a half.
So now Denham Springs with just 11 seconds left here in this
On
half.
the play, that was a block in the back against the offense. 10-yard spot of the foul. We play first down.
Yeah, and for Coach Nettles, you really don't want anything else to go bad in this half. So if I was him, I would just kneel this thing with 11 seconds. Don't even take a chance on a turnover, a fumble, anything. Just kneel the ball, get in your safe formation, get into the locker room, and begin to calm your guys down and say, hey, look, we have had a good drive in this half. We've run the ball. We can be dominant in our offensive front against their defensive line. Let's do that, but let's not hurt ourselves. Let's not turn the football over.
Actually, they didn't even have to snap a play or snap the football for the clock to start. So that ends our first half. Again, 3 touchdown runs by Nick Brosette. Manny Miles connected with Devontae Dodson on a touchdown pass, and Denham Springs' lone touchdown was a catch by Barclay Miller from Torres Kinchin. So a dominating first half, and UHIGH's had a lot of dominating games. They're coming off a 49-14 win over Port Allen. When we saw them in week 1 of the season, they had a huge lead over Turlings Catholic at halftime. Won that game over the Rebels 41-15, beat Southern Lab 56-14. Chad Mahaffey's done a tremendous job looking for win number 40 at UHIGH, and he's standing with our Blair Bainey. Blair?
Thanks, guys. Coach, definitely a powerful offense, and they've really taken advantage of those turnovers, made the most of them, but some costly penalties in the first half, too. What are you going to do when you talk to your team at the halftime point to really let them know they can't be doing that in the second half?
Yeah, I think our defense has done a great job with the turnovers, getting us some short fields, and really, without a couple penalties, they would have turned it, we'd have probably got the ball back sooner. And so, a lot of good there, a lot of positives, but if we can cut out the mistakes, I think it only help us.
Are you worried at all about them kind of letting their guard down in the second half, being this far ahead at this point in the game?
No.
Not at all?
Far from over, no.
Okay. And, of course, your team, too, you've said they have great attitudes. They really work well together. Is that a big part of how they kind of see these games through, and they've had such a good season so far?
I think that's definitely a big part of it. They've got good chemistry. They enjoy being around each other, and I think that helps when you're going through a long season.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. Thank you. All right, Jeff, Jason, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Blair, and thanks a lot, Coach Mahaffey. His team is up 28-6 as they look to go 8-0 on the season. Denham Springs need to pull off a really big second half here. We'll see what happens. But first, the Contour halftime show when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
They're coming from Zachary, Central, and Denham. Coming for the all-new 2014s now on site at Brian Harris Chevrolet. The 2014 Chevy Cruze, now just $16,995. The all-new Malibu, just $19,995. Save big on the all-new 2014 Camaro. Intro priced at $22,495. No matter where you start, finish with our best price on a 2014. Find new roads to Brian Harris Chevrolet on Florida.
Enjoy the sweet life at Comfort Suites Oil Center, Lafayette's newest all-suite hotel. You can always count on spacious guest rooms, affordable rates, and true Southern hospitality. Plenty of extras such as hot buffet breakfast, free high-speed internet, exercise room and swimming pool, and a well-appointed conference room. Call for reservations today at 337-456-8390 or visit us online at www.choicehotels.com. Comfort Suites Hotel in Lafayette, 114 Rue Ferdinand, off Pinhook behind Chili's.
The 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is back October 24th through November 3rd. Right on the best all-new Midway in South Louisiana with more than 40 thrilling rides, great food and music, the all-new Noah's Way Petting Zoo, and much more. Go to gbrsf.com for special discount tickets. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair October 24th through November 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. Go to gbrsf.com.
For over 40 years, Louisiana's original coffee put the joie into vie with its big, rich flavor. Now, Mellow Joy is back, and people are waking up to the original Cajun coffee.
At work, the joy continues with a full line of satisfying coffees. Dark roast, between roast, medium roast, and decaffeinated. Of course, some people take their joy where their work takes them. Our best restaurants have discovered Mellow Joy as the perfect ending to a fine meal. Experience pure joy, Mellow Joy coffee.
Well, the UHIGH marching band out on the field right now, putting on a nice performance here to a big crowd at Yellow Jacket Stadium. And the UHIGH Cubs, ranked number 1 in Class 3A, leading the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets 28-6, thanks to 3 touchdown runs by Nick Brosette and a couple of turnovers by Denham Springs. And also a block punt in there gave the Cubs great field position on 3 of those 4 scoring drives. Well, not only do we like to feature great high school football on the Cox 4 Game of the Week, we also want to recognize great performances in the classroom. It's now time for our Scholar and Teacher of the Week segments. For that, we send it down to Blair Abaney as we continue with the Contour Halftime Show.
Thanks, Jeff. We are down here with our Scholars of the Week, and we're going to start with Morgan from Denham Springs. And Morgan, tell us what year you are in school.
I'm a senior.
And what are you involved in as far as clubs, groups, sports?
I'm in Key Club, FCA.
All sorts of things, I'm sure. Too much to remember. And you play softball. It's a big one, too. How do you feel to get this award? Were you expecting it? Are you surprised?
I was surprised, and I feel honored to get this award.
Well, congratulations to you. Okay, and we're going to move over to Stephanie from UHIGH. And obviously, you're a cheerleader, right?
Yes, I'm a cheerleader.
Anything else you're involved in?
I'm in FCA, Spanish Club, Key Club.
And what year are you in school?
I'm a senior as well.
A senior. Okay, so when it comes to you getting this award, were you like so blown away, so surprised, or were you just excited? How'd you feel?
I was excited and surprised. I had no idea, but yeah, I was really honored and excited.
Well, congratulations to you as well. Show everyone your trophies. These came from Crown Trophy, so big thanks to them, and also a big thanks to ITI for sponsoring this segment. Congratulations to you both. We do have teachers coming up in just a bit, but for now, Jeff, Jason, back to you.
And congratulations once again to our Scholars of the Week. We're at Yellow Jacket Stadium on a cool fall night here in Livingston Parish. 28-6 is our score. We'll take another break and continue with more of the Contour Halftime Show when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI, for a better life.
I'm Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish, and Livingston Parish is on the move. One of the primary things that we ran on was developing business and jobs in Livingston Parish for our people so that we can bring, obviously, additional revenue to be able to support our infrastructure needs. We're going to continue to progress here in Livingston Parish. When everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Who do you call when you've been in an auto accident? Call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. We'll tow you in, take care of all your body work so you can get back on the road. Rated #1 by customers and preferred by most insurance companies for their quality work. We can handle all your auto glass needs too. At Donaldsonville Glass and Body, we not only care about your vehicle, but more importantly, we care about you.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the soccer star to the soccer mom. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
The Cox 4 Game of the Week halftime show is brought to you by Contour, a game-changing TV experience from Cox, so personal that it shapes uniquely to each individual user. 28-6 is our halftime score, and one of the best high school marching bands in the state performing right now. That's the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. But before we check them out, let's go back down to the field and find out who our Teachers of the Week are.
Jeff. Yeah, we're a little distracted by the band too. They are so good. They sound so great, honestly, and everyone's cheering for them. It's really exciting on the sidelines. But we are talking to our Teachers of the Week, and we're going to start with our denim Teacher of the Week, Micah. And Micah, tell us, what do you teach, and how long have you been a teacher?
I've been a teacher for 6 years. I teach chemistry and chemistry AP.
So the easy stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally easy.
And tell me, you're the cheerleading sponsor. Anything else that you're a sponsor of at Denim?
Yeah, I help with the cheerleaders. I'm the sponsor for the cheerleaders, and I help with Literary Rally, which is just kind of like an academic area that I help out with.
And how did it feel for you to get this award? Were you surprised?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. That's such an honor that they selected me. It was great.
Congratulations to you. And our UHIGH Teacher of the Week is Melissa. Melissa, tell us, what do you teach and how long?
I teach K through 12 music. I'm the middle school band director and the assistant to the high school band, and I'm the Spirit Stepper sponsor, and that's our dance team.
You are very busy, huh?
Very busy.
Well, and as far as you getting this award, obviously they love you. You're involved in so much. How does it feel to get this?
It's an honor, absolutely. I appreciate them even thinking about me. So,
well, congratulations to you. Sounds like you've earned it. All right, congratulations to you both. And once again, these plaques provided by Crown Trophy, so big thanks to them. And another big thank you to ITI for sponsoring our Teacher of the Week segment. Jeff, Jason, back to you.
Thanks a lot. I also want to thank Monogram Express for their advertisement and their sponsorship of the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Let's hear a little from the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets Marching Band.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from those that serve aces to those that serve others. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
The only inside go-kart racing in Louisiana. Rockstars Fast, Rockstars Fun, and Rockstars Real. Face it, Rockstar is for kids. Race like a rock star. We have an indoor and outdoor track. 225-214-0045. So, let's do it. Rockstar Racing. A real racing experience.
Ohio State University, the University of Texas Southern University, California, Berkeley, Old Dominion University, Harvard University,
the University of Virginia,
Texas A&M, Norfolk State University, University, Arizona State, Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from long drivers to unlucky drivers. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Contour halftime show continues here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week, where the University High Cubs, ranked number 1 in Class 3A, looking to go 8-0 on the season. They lead the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets 28-6. We'll have Denham Springs again next week on the Cox 4 Game of the Week as the Yellow Jackets get back into district play, and we'll see the Zachary Broncos once again, who a couple weeks ago on the Cox 4 Game of the Week had a nice win over Plaquemine. But in this game, the UHIGH Cubs, they're doing what the UHIGH Cubs do. They are a quick strike team on offense. They can cause some disruption defensively. They came into this game where they have forced 19 turnovers on the season, add 2 more to that total, and then they've done it on all 3 phases. Other than the nice drive that Denham Springs had that ate up over 6 minutes of the clock, it's been all UHIGH in this game.
Yeah, and what UHIGH does is score points, and you can see they got 28 of them already in the first half, so they're on pace to get their number that they're accustomed to scoring.
Yeah.
But you know, when Coach Nettles and this Denham Springs team came out, they knew they wanted to run the football. They've had some success running the football, but they've hurt themselves. They had 2 key turnovers, and you heard Coach Mahaffey talk about it. Hey, they gave us some short field situations, and we took advantage of it. That was a quick 14 points. And then they were able to get a little bit of their running game going, but then again, come right back. Big play by Manny Miles to Devontae Donson, and probably scores in a couple plays, and then gets a key block on a punt, and again, short field situation. So that's really been the story of this game. Yeah, this UHIGH team can score points, but don't make it any easier for them, and that's what Denham Springs has done.
UHIGH's key this season. They've been getting off to fast starts. They were able to do that in this game. They were up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. This season now, they have outscored their opponents in the first quarter 145-28. They're averaging 45 points a game, and as you mentioned, they're on their way to doing that again here tonight. Let's go back down to the field where Blair Abaney has the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets band surrounding her. Blair?
I do. You know, they're all right here, excited to be on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Do y'all want to cheer? I'm on TV. You're on camera. They're a little camera shy, can you tell? Well, their halftime performance was unbelievable, but we're actually here to talk about football, food, and families. It's a big part of the Cox 4 Game of the Week, and of course, we love it when schools participate because they bring in food for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, and we love helping to collect that food because it turns into meals for so many people who really need it. Earlier in the season, UHIGH participated, and they brought in over 700 pounds of food, which translates into about 600 meals. Pretty amazing stuff. So we encourage all of the teams that participate in our Cox 4 Game of the Week to also participate in the Football, Food, and Families campaign. And of course, a big thank you to Domino's for sponsoring our segment. Okay, we're going to let them cheer us out again. Go ahead, go for it. Back to you.
Denham Springs band is pretty big and well known, and you know, you can see they're also not excited about their performance there at halftime.
Well, they certainly should be. We'll see if their football team can make some more noise in the second half. They're trailing right now 28-6. We'll take another break, and when we come back, maybe we'll look at some of our first half highlights as the Contour halftime show rolls on here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
They're coming from Zachary, Central, and Denham. Coming for the all-new 2014s now on site at Brian Harris Chevrolet. The 2014 Chevy Cruze, now just $16,995. The all-new Malibu, just $19,995. Save big on the all-new 2014 Camaro, intro priced at $22,495. No matter where you start, finish with our best price on a 2014. Find new roads to Brian Harris Chevrolet on Florida.
Enjoy the sweet life at Comfort Suites Oil Center, Lafayette's newest all-suite hotel. You can always count on spacious guest rooms, affordable rates, and true Southern hospitality. Plenty of extras such as hot buffet breakfast, free high-speed internet, exercise room and swimming pool, and a well-appointed conference room. Call for reservations today at 337-456-8390 or visit us online at www.choicehotels.com. Comfort Suites Hotel in Lafayette, 114 Rue Ferdinand, off Pinhook behind Chili's.
The 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is back October 24th through November 3rd. Right on the best all-new Midway in South Louisiana with more than 40 thrilling rides, great food and music, the all-new Noah's Way Petting Zoo, and much more. Go to gbrsf.com for special discount tickets. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair October 24th through November 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. Go to gbrsf.com.
For over 40 years, Louisiana's original coffee put the joie into vie with its big, rich flavor. Now, Mellow Joy is back, and people are waking up to the original Cajun coffee. At work, the joy continues with a full line of satisfying coffees. Dark roast, between roast, medium roast, and decaffeinated. Of course, some people take their joy where their word takes them. Our best restaurants have discovered Mellow Joy as the perfect ending to a fine meal. Experience pure joy, Mellow Joy coffee.
28-6 is our score on the Contour halftime show of the Cox Ford Game of the Week. UHIGH leading Denham Springs. And tune in weekdays at 5:30 for Legal Lines. Host Locke Meredith speaks with elected officials, law enforcement agents, and other community members to discuss how legislation and the legal system affects us all. And find out what's going on with Denham Springs Yellow Jackets football. Watch the Drew Nettle Show, hosted by John Fine and the coach and athletic director of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. That's live every Thursday at 6 p.m. and replays on Friday and Saturday as well. Earlier tonight, Blair Bainey had a chance to catch up with someone with the Baton Rouge State Fair. Greater Baton Rouge State Fair, that's what I wanted to say. I knew I'd eventually get it. Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. Let's go to that interview now.
We're talking to Mike Shepard, and he is with the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair, but also with the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, something I'm learning a lot, so we're going to tell you too. But first, tell me, how did you get started with the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair? That's how it all began, really.
Well, I've been with the State Fair actually since the mid-'60s, and we used to have a ton of entertainment, wonderful stuff. Kenny Rogers' First Edition, Jerry Lee Lewis, Joe South, Bobby Goldsboro, huge people. And we've gotten reassociated the last few years, and the Hall of Fame, Music Hall of Fame, fit with the fair.
And so when people go out to the fair, they're going to be able to hear music and see you guys. When is that going to be? Well,
there's music every night. Now, we're going to have our shows on Sunday, this Sunday. We're going to have a band called River Road, Louisiana Music Hall of Famers, huge country group from the mid-'90s, special guest Debbie Traylor, and Megan Miller from 2012 13 American Idol. Then we're going to go into Louisiana Music Hall of Fame All-Star Band, 11-piece, 7 vocalists, 5 horns, and special guest Tommy McLean, also a Hall of Famer.
And you were telling me there are some really amazing people in this Hall of Fame. People probably don't even know this. Tell us some of the big names that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame.
We go from Louis Armstrong, Louis Prima, to Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, Elvis Presley, Lloyd Price, the founders of rock and roll, the biggest stars of rock and roll. All those guys came
icons.
Icons, and they came in before 1954, mid-1954. So who started rock and roll? I think we did.
Unbelievable. In the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, who knew? Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Blair. And the 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is underway right now, all the way until November 3rd. To find out more information, go to gbrsf.com. We'll take another break. When we come back, second half kickoff here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. You're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the three-point shooter to the three-piece suit. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI, for a better life.
I'm Leighton Ricks, Livingston Parish, and Livingston Parish is on the move. One of the primary things that we ran on was developing business and jobs in Livingston Parish for our people so that we can bring, obviously, additional revenue to be able to support our infrastructure needs. We're going to continue to progress here in Livingston Parish. When everybody comes together, these kind of things happen. I mean, what can you say? It's absolutely awesome. It's the perfect place to be. It's where you want to be today, I can guarantee you that.
Cox 4 Game of the Week is brought to you by Sheriff Jason Ard. His staff's primary concern is keeping Livingston Parish a safe place to live, work, and raise a family. And by the 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair, which is underway now through November 3rd, right on the Midway. Visit the new Noah's Way Petting Zoo and much more. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. Now until October 3rd on Airline Highway. At the fairgrounds, go to gbrsf.com for more information and buy Louisiana Lift. At Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. UHIGH will get the ball to begin the second half as you see our Louisiana Lift. And again, for more information, if you need to get in the air, they'll be able to get you there at 753-5700 or lalift.com. Got all kinds of other equipment and rental and parts and other kinds of stuff there. So check them out again at lalift.com. All right, so as we mentioned, UHIGH gets the ball to begin the second half. And for Denham Springs, if they can get another one of those 3 and outs, they were able to force that in the first quarter and then get their offense back on the field and see if they can get another solid drive together and maybe put a touchdown on the board and make this thing interesting.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do. I mean, if they're going to get back in the game, it's going to start on this possession. I mean, they're either going to have to go 3 and out or create a turnover, which is one of the things they knew they had to do to get this UHIGH offense off the field. But even after they do that, Jeff, they've got to score the football. I mean, they've got to get more points in order to play with this UHIGH team.
Zach Booth has it kicked up or has it teed up. Doesn't have a very strong leg. Onside kick is always something you got to be leery of to begin a second half when you're trying to steal possession against a very talented team like the UHIGH Cubs. A little bit of it's not necessarily a pooch kick. That's a live ball. UHIGH trying to get on it. Denham Springs thinks they might have a shot at this ball as it just kept squirting around there. And it is Denham Springs football.
Well, and that was a great design there by Denham Springs. You're doing 2 things. You're keeping it out of some of those speedy returners, but also you're giving your team a chance to recover, kind of a pooch kick, and UHIGH wasn't really expecting that, wasn't lined up properly. The kicker for Denham was able to get it into a gap there, and there you can see recovering the football, and this is huge. You know, this is not even allowing the UHIGH offense to get on the field for a play. And a great way to start this half for Denham Springs.
Looked like Zach Stewart recovered the football for the Yellow Jackets. So first down and 10 for Denham Springs at the UHIGH 30. UHIGH is slow to have a player enter the field here defensively for them. And now they hand it off to Bracey. Bracey bounces it to the outside. And then he's tackled very close to the first down marker. Bracey had a very nice first half. And gets the second half off on a good start for the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and really found some room out there, just kind of kept bouncing it and bouncing it out, and then he realized, hey, I'm more of a north-south guy. I'm not going to beat those guys on the edge, and really just a great run there on first down to pick up another first down.
Starting quarterback for the Yellow Jackets, Torres Kinchin. He is gone the whole way, filling in for Matt Irwin, who's out for the season. It is first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Bracey puts his head down on that carry, gets about 3 or 4 yards on the carry, tackled on the play by Greg Bowser.
And go ahead.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, and Greg Bowser, you know, the former LSU player. His dad also played at LSU and, you know, the color commentator. But Greg Bowser is also somebody that Coach Mahaffey really likes on that defensive line.
Denham Springs has entered the U.S. Marines red zone here on this first drive of the second half, trying to take advantage of recovering the onside kick. Second down at about 7. Bracy gets another opportunity. Hits the hole hard, breaks a tackle to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Nice drive there for Denham. They take advantage of the recovery on the kickoff. And for Bracy, he's in the end zone for the 7th time this season.
Yeah, good strong run by Bracy. As you can see, right off a tackle, there's a little hole there. But most importantly, he breaks a tackle and into the end zone. And Coach Nettles, whatever he told them at halftime, has worked here. They've come out, been able to recover an onside kick, and immediately punch the ball into the end zone. And this is how they're going to get themselves back into this football game.
Booth had his last extra point blocked, and this one is good. So Denham Springs still within striking distance here as they trail the number 1 team in 3A, 28-13. We'll have more of the Cox 4 Game of the Week after this.
Just announced. Minimum discounts save you the max at Brian Harris Chrysler Jeep. First time ever. Minimum discounts of $2,500 on new Jeep Patriot and Compass. $2,500 minimum. That's the least you'll get. Make your best deal. Then get $1,500 minimum on new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. Or a minimum $6,000 off 2013 Chrysler 300s. Plus, see the all-new 2014 Cherokee during the Jeep Celebration event at Brian Harris Chrysler Jeep on Airline.
Hello, Domino's. Can I take your order? Was that Terry or Mary? Let's be honest. Ordering Domino's over the phone isn't always that great. Gary. Oh, I was way off. Can I put you on hold for 1 second? Hey, I'm back. No one's on this line.
But the new Domino's.com is easier than ever. Now you can save your favorite order, all your info, and then reorder in as little as 30 seconds. Way faster than calling the store.
Hello, you in a tunnel? Am I in a tunnel? No.
Order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each at Domino's.com and see how fast it really is.
Our Domino's scoring drive, 4 plays, 30 yards, capped off by the 7th touchdown of the season by Anthony Bracy as he ran it in from about 10 yards out. And Denham Springs has cut into that UHIGH lead. So now if you're UHIGH, I don't know what you expect on this kickoff coming up from Zach Booth. Perfectly executed on the last kickoff. A little floater over that front line. This time he puts a little bit more of a leg into it. Chandler Johnson takes it at the 30-yard line and brings it up to about the 37-yard line as he's tackled on the play by Bo Grassi.
Yeah, but again, I mean, a big change of events coming out of the half. You know, Denham Springs, UHIGH was getting the football back, and, you know, they could have gone down the field and scored and really put this thing out of hand, but nevertheless, Denham Springs able to recover. And really now, I mean, if they can get a stop here, get these guys 3 and out and get the football back, you know, we could really have a football game.
Easier said than done against this explosive UHIGH offense. Manny Miles threw a touchdown pass in that first half, and Nick Brosette found the end zone 3 times. Brosette's in motion, Miles under pressure, and he'll run for it and picks up a couple of yards. Hit hard on the play there at the end by Cole Spear, who's definitely a hard hitter in that defensive secondary and a guy that some state schools are taking a look at. He's a senior, 25 tackles on the season coming into the game. Second down and about 7 after the 3-yard run by Miles. Denham Springs almost jumped off sides there, but DJ Robinson able to get back in time. And here's Brosette. Brosette looking for some running room, and Cole Spear in that tackle once again for the Yellow Jackets. Also there for Denham Springs looked to be Caleb Roddy. 3rd down and 3, so here we go, Jason. Can they get the 3 and out? Pistol formation for Miles and Brosette. Now they check with the sidelines. On a bit of a stretch play here for Brosette, and he's got the first down. Busted through a tackle before he was tackled by Cole Spear. Looked like Josh Haynes had an opportunity to bring him down, a sophomore linebacker for Denham Springs, but Brosette just too strong and powerful to bust it right through it.
Here we go with the replay. He actually gets hit before the first down marker, but, you know, Brosette just lowers that gear and just powers his way past that first down.
Brosette had the opportunity to go over 1,000 yards on the season. If he picked up 75 yards here tonight, he's probably right around that figure right now, if not past it. He's out in the open again, and he's close to a first down before Jabaris Thompson finally wrapped him up, stopped his forward progress, very close to that first down marker at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, just another good, powerful run by Brosette. And you can see at the end of this run, Denham Springs is having trouble even bringing him to the ground. But, good ball, high, tight ball security. And look, when you get to the end of this, they're gang tackling him, but Brosette is just not going to be denied.
A pickup of 9, so 2nd down and 1. 5 wide receivers on this set. Let's see if Miles and the UHIGH Cubs go to the end zone on this play. Brosette lined up in the slot. Brant Broussard is the wide receiver to the near side. See Jake Alexander, number 26. Chandler Johnson is number 15. Miles, under all kinds of pressure, escapes the rush, and he throws it towards the end zone's got a man. Dodson knocked away at the last second. Great defensive play. That was really nice by Wes Brown, who's the quarterback of that defense, the free safety. Excellent shortstop in baseball. Made a nice football play there.
Yeah, great defensive play, but a great play by Manny Miles, just keeping the play alive. Denham Springs had a blitz on. They were man-on-man coverage in the secondary, and Miles was able to escape the blitz and still get almost a jump ball situation off to his receiver in the end zone, but a great play by Denham Springs in the secondary.
Brosette gets it on 3rd down and 1, and he's got the first down again. Picked up about 3 or 4 yards on that play. As UHIGH keeps the chains moving on the far side of the field. Another strong run here by Brosette. Nice ankle tackle on the play by Josh Haynes. I mentioned he missed a tackle earlier. Here's Brosette running hard right up the middle. Looked like Haynes brought him down one more time. But when you're giving him the ball on first down and he's getting you 7, 8, or 9 yards on first down, that's when this UHIGH offense really becomes dangerous.
Well, yeah, and they have the hurry up and they have the quick bubble screens and the quick slants in their package. But when they need sure yardage, you can see they're going to put it in Brosette's hands, and good things often happen.
2nd and 3, gets very close to the first down marker here. I don't think he got it, though. Eli Cawthon, one of the defenders there defensively for the Yellow Jackets, along with Cody Prest, who has 6 tackles, a sack, and 4 tackles for a loss on the season. 3rd down and 1. Denham Springs last week in a loss gave up 229 yards rushing. They really haven't been gashed tonight by the running game, as Brosette uses that strength to pick up the first down there and get inside the 20-yard line. Nice drive here for the Cubs as they convert another 3rd down opportunity.
Yeah, and what makes this UHIGH attack so potent is that they can beat you both ways. They can beat you running the football, or they can beat you throwing the football. So, Manny is surveying that defense, and he's trying to figure out, hey, are they going to give us the run or the throw? But either way, we can beat you.
Distance to the goal. It's going to be a first down.
So a face mask penalty on that play as well. So half the distance to the goal line, and the UHIGH Cubs now in great position here to add to their 28-13 lead and get on the scoreboard for the first time here in the second half. As they are inside the U.S. Marine Corps red zone. 1st and 10, just outside of the 10-yard line. Brosette gets only a couple as the Denham Springs defensive line did a nice job to cause a little bit of a disruption in the backfield, and Brosette still, though, gets about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, and it's almost like UHIGH has slowed it down here a little bit. They were a lot quicker tempo, but, they're slowing it down a little bit. Still no huddle, and, obviously keeping the ball on the ground.
Brosette gets another opportunity, running hard up to about the 6-yard line again. Cody Prest, one of the Yellow Jacket defenders there. 3rd down coming up now for UHIGH. Let's see if they maybe have a rollout play here for Manny Miles. Maybe roll him out here to the near side with the ball placed on the far hash mark. But you also have one of the best players in the state in the backfield to hand the football off to. They'll get the play now that they see how Denham Springs is aligned. Miles will throw to the corner of the end zone and incomplete. Not enough touch on that pass as he was trying to hit Jalen Baker on that play. 4th down and UHIGH is going to bring the field goal team on.
Yeah, Miles was under a little duress, a little pressure on that play. Probably had to get rid of that ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to, and just forced a throw that was a little wide of his receiver.
Matthew Berg now on to try the 24-yard field goal. On the hold is Brant Broussard. Snap down, the kick is up, and that is through the upright. So UHIGH responds to the Denham Springs touchdown to start the second half, and the Cubs extend their lead, and they lead it now by 18 points. More of the Cox Ford Game of the Week coming up after this.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
The 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is back October 24th through November 3rd. Right on the best all-new Midway in South Louisiana with more than 40 thrilling rides, great food and music, the all-new Noah's Way Petting Zoo, and much more. Go to gbrsf.com for special discount tickets. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair October 24th through November 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. Go to gbrsf.com.
There's the Domino's scoring drive. Matthew Berg capped it off with the 24-yard field goal, and he'll tee it up and kick the ball back to Denham Springs.
Yeah, and, there's still some success there for that Denham Springs defense. I mean, only holding them to 3 there is a good job. But, the question for Coach Nettles becomes, hey, my game plan is to continue to run the ball and work on the clock, but at what point do I have to abandon the run and start taking some shots down the field, because we're going to have to get more points.
Decent kick here by Berg. Actually, though, it's going to go out of bounds, and Denham Springs will have excellent field position. Tune in weekdays at 5:30 for Legal Lines. Host Locke Meredith speaks with elected officials, law enforcement agents, and other community members to discuss how legislation and the legal system affect all of us. And don't forget to check out what's going on with Denham Springs Yellow Jacket football by watching the Drew Nettles Show, hosted by John Fine and coach and athletic director of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, live every Thursday at 6 p.m. Drew Nettles in his 9th season here at Denham Springs, 46-44. They've made the playoffs 5 consecutive years. Last year, they lost to West Monroe in the first round of the playoffs. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at their own 35-yard line. Bracey gets another chance to run the football, gets it up to about the 40-yard line before John Guidry. And that Cubs defense brought him down. Also there defensively, Trey Jackson, number 25, and you don't like to see this. Bracey slow to get up. As we mentioned, coming off ACL injury. Oh, and it looks like he can't even put any weight at all on that right ankle. Or is that a cramp? Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, it might be a cramp,
Yeah,
and,
hopefully
you
that's
talk
what it
about
is.
abandoning the running game. If you don't have that guy, you're going to be abandoning a lot sooner than you wanted to. But let's hope that you're right, Jeff, that it's just a cramp. He's been a workhorse all night. You can see here, constantly breaking tackles, constantly falling forward. There you see Guidry applying the pressure and the hit there. And, again, let's hope that that's just a cramp down there that they're working on.
Usually Denham Springs is running back by committee, or they get a lot of people involved offensively, but Bracey's had such a nice night running the football. They've gone to him almost exclusively in this game, and that's a good sign for him because it shows that he's starting to really get into midseason form, and he's recovered from that ACL injury that he had a season ago. Well, while he's down on the ground, we'll take a break. More coming up from Yellow Jacket Stadium here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the Grand Slam hitter to grandparents. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Livingston Parish is the place to locate or expand your business. Hi, I'm Randy Rogers, President of the Livingston Economic Development Council. Livingston Parish has become a choice location for business, whether industrial, commercial, retail, or health services. We have prime locations throughout the parish. When coupled with an excellent public school system, a great quality of life, and a positive pro-business attitude, Livingston Parish is the place to locate or expand your business. Let us assist your plans today.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the blue chip athlete to blue collar worker. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
31-13 is our score. The UHIGH Cubs looking to run their record to 8-0 on the season, leading the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, who have played hard here tonight. They've had some things go against him. 2 turnovers in the first half and a block punt, and really that's the difference in the game, because the 2 turnovers and the block punt gave UHIGH great field position on all 3 of those drives as Armstrong runs the football very close to the first down, and that's almost our difference in the game. But Anthony Bracey was able to, for the most part, get off the field on his own power, and they'll have to work out that what appears to be a cramp issue for the Yellow Jackets' leading rusher tonight.
Yeah, and B.J. Armstrong has come in, and when Bracey has gone out, just to give him a breather, he's shown some good capability and what he can do replacing Bracey. But really, I think for Coach Nettles, they're going to have to put the ball in the air if they're going to have a chance of getting back. Time is going to become a factor here soon.
3rd down and 1. Armstrong, he has the first down. Nice job by that big Denham Springs Yellow Jackets offensive line. And you know, Coach Mahaffey thought this would be a good test for his defense going up against a big offensive line, because once they get in the playoffs, and they're going to be competing in the Division II playoffs, they're going to be, Division III playoffs. I'm still trying to learn it myself.
Select, non-select, all the divisions and championships.
No, I was right the first time.
Yep,
Division II playoffs.
Yeah.
They're going to be facing some big offensive linemen. We're going to go down to Blair Bainey after this play on an injury report. 1st down and 10 as Armstrong was able to pick it up. And now shotgun formation. And looks like a little trickery here. And going absolutely nowhere and losing yards was Nolan Satcher. I think Nolan was going to throw the football because Keandre Brooks was running a deep post pattern. That's a huge loss on the play of 12 yards all the way back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, no, he was clearly going to throw the football, and when you can't get your passing game going, sometimes you look for a little razzle-dazzle or a little trickery. They got the ball near midfield and wanted to try to pull off a little trickery, and it just went south on them.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Blair Bainey. Blair?
Thanks, guys. An injury report on Anthony Bracey, of course. Everyone worried because of that torn ACL last season, but nothing that serious, nothing to worry about, just some cramping. So you probably will be seeing him back in the game very shortly. A key player for Denham Springs, so I know they got to be happy about that. Back to you.
And he's played really well here tonight as well. Kitchen pump fakes, throws. He's got single coverage here, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, and that's our guy, Malik Antoine. I mean, he has been all over the field. That side of the field, Jeff, I can tell you, is locked down. We have seen that in the first half. They went there twice, and twice it's been picked. And here you go. You're not going to get anything on Malik Antoine tonight. So, look, we need to try the other side of the field for the rest of the night. I mean, that is just, I mean, you can't cover any better. Getting his head around, looking for the ball, and going up and knocking it away.
And Keandre Brooks is a good wide receiver, number 1 for Denham Springs. And he's locked up on Antoine once again. So let's see what happens here on 3rd down and a long way to go for the Yellow Jackets. UHIGH brings the blitz. Kitchen's going to run with it, and you can see he's not 100% with that bad knee, and he picks up a few yards up to about the 39-yard line. Wasn't able to really just turn on the jets there once he got out of the pocket.
Well, and I knew Kitchen could run a little bit, and, you know, Coach Nettles talked about it, but you could see he is not completely healthy. That's probably why we haven't seen him run. And, you know, on those rollouts that were run-pass options, he's clearly taken the pass option, and that's because he's not all the way healthy.
Denham Springs will have to punt here as we approach the 3-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. week 8 of the high school football season, and sure feels like it outside as the temperatures have dropped here in Denham Springs. Out to punt for the Yellow Jackets, Max Schooler, and he has his punt blocked again for the second time tonight.
Yeah, they're unable to pick up this punt block formation by UHIGH. They're not picking up their assignments. They're leaving too many gaps in their protection, and the Denham Springs punter just isn't even having a shot at getting these footballs off.
2 punts blocked tonight. Boy, you hope to go through a season without two punts that are blocked. And here they've had two consecutive punts that have been blocked. So now 1st down and 10 for the UHIGH Cubs. They're in business once again at the 20-yard line. Some great field position all night long for Manny Miles and Nick Brosette. And Brosette pushes the pile ahead to about the 15-yard line before he's tackled by Josh Haynes.
Yeah, Jeff, and when you go back and you look at the yardage that UHIGH accumulates in this game, I don't think it's going to be overwhelming.
No.
And you're going to say, well, why not? They got 31 points up, but they've been in short yardage situations the entire game due to turnovers and blocks.
UHIGH is inside the U.S. Marines red zone. Miles to the end zone. Touchdown! Nice catch by Brant Broussard and a great throw by Manny Miles, his 2nd touchdown pass of the night, and that was a nice grab by Broussard for his 5th TD of the season.
This ball was placed perfect again. Here's Manny showing off his touch here, and I mean they made this look very, very easy on a difficult timing route and threw it right to the back of the end zone to where only his guy could get it, but the timing and the touch on that play was just magnificent.
Great coverage by Darren Wilson. And now UHIGH looks to expand its lead to 25 points. And the extra point is good by Matthew Bird. So 2 blocked punts by the UHIGH Cubs has led to 2 touchdowns here. And they now lead it 38-13. We'll take a break. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter here on the Cox Ford Game of the Week.
You can live the dream life right now at Suma Crossing Apartments in Livingston Parish. Imagine easy access to I-12 and living on a deep, clear lake where your family can fish, walk, or jog anytime. And there's also a crystal clear swimming pool. Your apartment is huge with granite countertops, state-of-the-art appliances, and closets, closets, closets. It's not a dream, it's real and waiting for you. Come see Suma Crossing, exit 19 on I-12.
The only inside go-kart racing in Louisiana. Rockstars fast, Rockstars fun, and Rockstars real. Face it, Rockstar is for kids. Race like a rock star. We have an indoor and outdoor track. 225-214-0045. So, let's do it. Rockstar Racing, a real racing experience.
Cox Ford Game of the Week is brought to you by Sheriff Jason Hart. His staff's primary concern is keeping Livingston Parish a safe place to live, work, and raise a family. And by the 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair, which is underway right now through November 3rd. Right on the Midway, visit the new Noah's Way petting zoo and much more. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. Now through October 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. You can go to their website, gbrsf.com, and buy Louisiana Lift. At Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. 38-13 is our score. 2 plays, 20 yards on the Domino's scoring drive as the UHIGH Cubs take advantage of another block punt to put some more points on the scoreboard. Berg's kick end over end, and it's going to be taken by Thompson, who can't handle it, and it goes out of bounds. And the Yellow Jackets will have poor field position on this drive. Well, special teams, other than the onside kick that Denham Springs executed, they've had some struggles. They've had the 2 punts that have been blocked. They had an extra point that was blocked. And there you have an opportunity where you can get maybe a nice return, get your offense feeling good about itself with good field position. Instead, you're starting at your own 10-yard line.
Yeah, and they came out of the half with a spark. It almost looked like they were going to turn this thing around, but, you're right. Just haven't been able to get anything going on offense. Denham has suffered some injuries, and they haven't overcome that throughout this season, and, really just haven't been able to get any consistency on the offensive side of the football.
Armstrong running hard before he's hit hard on the play by Dylan Moses. Picks up about 4 yards. When we saw Moses in the season opener, he actually suffered an ankle injury, missed the next week. But he was back out there after that, and he's been a significant player on this UHIGH defense. With the Cubs expanding their lead now to 38-13, we may see him actually run the football a little bit in the fourth quarter. He's Nick Brossette's main backup.
And I can tell you that's not good news for Denham Springs either.
Doesn't get any easier, right?
No.
Nice spin move there by Armstrong, and he gets close to the 20-yard line. He'll set up 3rd down and 1.
But, you talk about Dylan Moses. I think everybody's trying to figure out what's going to be his natural position. You know, obviously he's got Nick Brossette in front of him, so he's not going to get the carries on offense right now, and he's obviously starting at the linebacker position. But they say he's as capable of a running back as he is a linebacker.
Nick Brossette still has another season left. He's been there he's been starting since the 8th grade. He's been out there that long, so 3rd down and 1. And the run up the middle, and that's a 1st down there by Armstrong. And in case you're wondering, the LHSAA does not recognize career statistics if they were done when you were an 8th grader. So whatever Brossette's final totals are when his career is done at UHIGH, the LHSAA will just recognize what he's done as from a freshman on, if in case you're wondering whether he can be the state's all-time leading rusher when it's all said and done.
Yeah, but Nick Brossette is going to know what he did, and I guarantee you this whole UHIGH community is going to know how many yards that he's had for this team and what he's done and meant for this program. And like you said, Jeff, he's only a junior.
Yeah.
And, I know all of the opponents for next year are sitting there saying, God, like you were about to say forever, when is he going to go away, And here we go on the replay.
Armstrong has shown that he can run the football just as good as Bracey. And that was our final play of the 3rd quarter. So it started out well for Denham Springs, but UHIGH has added a couple more touchdowns, and they lead it 38-13 here as we enter the 4th quarter at Yellow Jacket Stadium. More coming up on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Eric Edwards with the Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Find out now what's going on in Livingston Parish. We have over 400 nautical miles of waterways. Tee it up at our great world-renowned golf courses. Shop at our antique districts, or come to Bass Pro, our #1 retailer. There's a lot to do in Livingston Parish that you never imagined. It's all happening right here in Livingston Parish. For more information, go online at visitlivingstonparish.com.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Cox 4 Game of the Week is brought to you by ITI Technical College. ITI believes education is an important step to finding a rewarding career in today's fast-paced world. And by Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. From first-class golfing, endless waterways, and more, a lot to offer in Livingston Parish. And by Rockstar Racing, Baton Rouge's premier and only indoor kart racing facility. Come by after the game for a $10 special. Rockstar Racing, a fun, family-friendly environment. We begin the 4th quarter from Denham Springs, where the Yellow Jackets trail the UHIGH Cubs 38-13. Jeff Palermo, Jason DeQuare, and Blair Abaney. Glad you can join us here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Denham Springs keeping the football on the ground. Jabaris Thompson now in the game, getting some carries. He had a 33-yard touchdown run last week. 3rd down and 1 as Thompson gets the football, and Submarines for a 1st down there to about the 34-yard line.
Well, and if we can say that there is something consistent about this Denham Springs team
They'll
tonight.
run the ball.
Drew Nettles said he was going to keep the ball on the ground, and he hadn't budged from that game plan. You know, he feels like, hey, he can run it against them. But, you know, getting to this part of the game, you know, when down several scores, I just feel like, hey, you may as well begin to try. You know, try working some of your receivers, some of your routes, and see if you can have some big plays in the air.
Well, they got 3 wide receivers on this offensive set, as the lone running back is Darrell Washington. And Kitchen will give the ball to the fullback, Washington. And it's going to take half of the UHIGH defense to bring him down. Dylan Moses among that bunch. But Washington gets some carries every now and then. He's got 88 yards rushing on the season. Also a good guy to throw the football to. He's got 7 catches on the year.
And he's also 240 pounds,
Right.
and you can see he is a load and very difficult to bring down. Big, tough, physical runner for Denham Springs.
He's a junior. B.J. Armstrong's a junior. Kitchen's a sophomore. So you can see that they got something developing here at Denham Springs. 2 of their offensive linemen, including John Henderson, the big tackle for him, he's a junior. Well, they give the ball again to Washington. Washington shows a little of that ability to bounce it to the outside. I bet you he likes watching J.C. Copeland for the LSU Tigers run the football.
Yeah, and if he was old enough, he would have liked watching Jerome Bettis.
Yeah,
He kind of reminds me of Jerome Bettis.
Are we
big
that
old
old
guy.
that these guys don't know who Jerome Bettis is?
You know, if they can go Facebook him or look him up or do whatever, they might know who he is, but probably not as a player. But he kind of has that old Notre Dame Jerome Bettis look to him, and, you know, big but very quick and shifty. Very impressive run there.
Under 10 minutes to go in this football game as Denham Springs, once again, a nice drive, as that's B.J. Armstrong. Have not seen Bracey since he went down with the cramping injuries, and now we have a Denham Springs player slow to get up. I think that's Darrell Washington. Now he's able to get up, and here comes Denham Springs bringing out some extra wide receivers on this 2nd down and 7.
But, you know, Jeff, you got me thinking, you know, some of these players, 15, 16, 17, how many years has Jerome Bettis been out of the NFL?
Well, he won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. That was his last game. So, I mean, and that was when Bill Cowher was still the coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, 6, 7 years. They probably know who Jerome Bettis is. They don't remember the Notre Dame days, though.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Oh, I tell you what, Washington, tough to bring down. He's got a 1st down. And this big Denham Springs offensive line, you could say, has worn down this UHIGH defense to some extent. And this is the kind of test that Chad Mahaffey wanted to get out of his team, and they're finding out what it's like to face a team that's going to come right at you with some big bodies.
Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't bring this big body earlier in the football game. If you really want to wear on them, bring your 240, 50-pound running back. But, you know, sure, UHIGH is probably going to give up the 4 and 5 runs at this point, but still, Denham Springs had some success running the football much earlier in this football game.
UHIGH showing blitz here and getting out of that backfield quickly and falling forward for a significant gain of 7 yards was Jabaris Thompson. And now there is an injured UHIGH player. That looks like Trey Jackson, huh?
I think it's Brendan Holiday down.
Oh, Brendan Holiday, okay.
Down for UHIGH. That's their defensive lineman.
He's only a freshman.
And let's hope he's all right, but it's not looking good there.
$8:25 left to go in the game. And we'll take a break here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week as they work on the injured UHIGH player, Brendan Holiday. More coming up after this.
The 48th Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is back October 24th through November 3rd. Right on the best all-new Midway in South Louisiana with more than 40 thrilling rides, great food and music, the all-new Noah's Way Petting Zoo, and much more. Go to gbrsf.com for special discount tickets. Make a memory at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair October 24th through November 3rd on Airline Highway at the fairgrounds. Go to gbrsf.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin, president of ITI Technical College. Do you want a better life?
Get your associate's degree in occupational studies in information technology from ITI. In 2 years, you'll be on your way to a better life. You will get hands-on specialized training in computers, hardware and software, networking, and more. ITI offers flexible class schedules, and financial aid is available to those who qualify.
So don't wait. Call ITI now or go online. It's that simple.
ITI, for a better life.
Following tonight's game, tune to the State Farm Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and simulcasting on 104.9 FM. Host Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Royer recap scores from all around the state. Listen online as well at 1045ESPN.com or through the 104.5 Baton Rouge app on your Android or Apple smartphone device. There you look at John Guidry, number 30 for the UHIGH Cubs. He's had a really nice game tonight. 6'3", 230 pounds, a senior. He's been very disruptive in this football game. Second down and 3. Play action fake. Kitchen to the seam, and it's intercepted. A nice play on the football by Jalen Baker, and for the third time tonight, Torres Kitchen is intercepted.
Yeah, and you can see the skill that UHIGH has all over the football field. I mean, these defensive backs have played an outstanding football game tonight. Wynn Denham Springs has decided to go to the air, but not only are they making good defensive plays and getting their head around, but they're actually intercepting these footballs, which makes a big difference and obviously a change of possession.
You know, a couple of these interceptions now for Kitchen have been because he's underthrown his intended receiver. He does have the sprained MCL. You wonder if that's hampering him when it comes to trying to step into some of these throws.
Yeah, and it could be. And, you know, look, he's a little injured. He's also a sophomore. He's not the starting quarterback. And, you know, a whole bunch of things go into that. The injury doesn't help, but just the rhythm and how long you've been working with the first team and, you know, just trying to develop a chemistry there is always tough.
First string offense still out there for UHIGH as Brosette gets the carry. Maybe just a couple yards on the play. Manny Miles, another nice night for him. 2 more touchdown passes tonight. He's got 15 for the season. He's really become the leader of this offense. And we highlighted him in the pregame because, you know, a lot of people talk about Brosette and Dylan Moses and so forth, but he's been a huge part of this team as well. He's been very consistent, a guy they can depend on. Not much running room there for Brosette, and he's brought down. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that was it. Zach Stewart from his defensive back spot came in there and brought Brosette down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, man, he's a very capable quarterback. And, I mean, you know, who knows, may have ability to play quarterback on the next level. He's thrown for over 200 yards a game. He's averaging over 200 yards a game. People think Nick Brosette is the featured person on this team. He is, but still, I mean, they're throwing for over 200 yards a game.
He might also be a pitcher at the next level. Threw a no-hitter against Calvary Baptist in the Class 2A semifinals, and there should be a flag there, and there is. Brad Broussard, he was being just tackled for about 5 or 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, and he had to do that. He was beat. He was clearly beat there, and, you know, he went ahead and committed the foul there, because if not, he was going to give up a touchdown.
So we got enough. We got enough for a first.
And that should be enough for a first down. It was 3rd down and 9, 15-yard penalty coming up.
Pass interference. Defense. It's 15-yard penalty. Yardage is sufficient for a first down.
But just to give you an idea of how dominant Miles was on the mound last year, he was 11-0 for the UHIGH Cubs with an ERA of 0.49. He made 11 starts and gave up just 5 earned runs. And Coach Mahaffey will tell you it's just too early to tell if he'll have a chance to play at the next level as a baseball player or football player.
Yeah, but the most important thing about Manny Miles, and, you know, Jeff, I've played on many football teams, and I've even played with some coaches' sons, and, you know, you have some players who come into your locker room and they want you to know they're the coach's son, and it kind of ruins the chemistry. But in talking to Coach Mahaffey, man, he's just another one of the guys. He doesn't, you know, he could go on about what his dad does and how much he knows about football, but the reason these players respect Manny so much is he doesn't bring that into the locker room with him. You know, he's just another one of the guys that puts it on like everybody else does, and he wants to be an integral part of this football team, and obviously he is.
He's a lot of fun to watch, and the thing we saw from him tonight is we got a 2nd down and 6 here. is his ability to escape the rush. There were a couple times where Denham Springs they were in position to bring him down for a sack. As look at this is Dylan Moses, and he got upended at about the 33-yard line. But you can kind of see how exciting he is when he runs. Wes Brown made the tackle, but just to finish the thought on Manny Miles, there were plenty of times where it looked like they were going to sack him, and he was able to run away from the pressure and still make a positive play out of it. How fun is this guy going to be to watch run the football in a couple years?
Yeah, and you think about bringing in your up and you're going to bring in your backup running back, but look, when you bring in this guy, I'm not sure there's much of a drop-off.
You think he's having fun right now? He's been playing defense all game, and now he finally gets an opportunity to carry the football. He's rushed for over 200 yards so far on the season with 4 touchdowns. He gets it on 1st and 10 right up the middle, and Garrett Osborne, the team leader in tackles for Denham Springs, makes the stop. 54 of them coming into this game. They moved him from strong safety to linebacker because he's always around the football, flies around the football field, and made a nice tackle on the freshman there.
Yeah, and before the game, I was down on the sideline checking out Dylan Moses when they were just in their shimmel. And let me tell you, this is a kid in a grown man body already. I mean, this guy is chiseled, he is cut up, and just going to be a phenomenal football player.
2nd down and 4 as Manny Miles and UHIGH try to run enough time off that play clock. And here's Moses now to the outside, to the 50. He picks up a block all the way up to the 30, still on his feet to the 27-yard line. A huge run. His longest of the season is 44. That one is not quite as long, but still a spectacular run for the freshman.
Yeah, and here you go. If you're trying to figure out if he's a better linebacker or a running back, here's a good shot at him getting out to the edge, showing his speed, showing his power. Doesn't want to go out of bounds. You're right, Jeff. Every time he touches the ball, he wants to put it in the end zone. And, Coach Mahaffey's going to have to figure out, hey, linebacker or running back, but either way, he can play both ways on this UHIGH football team.
Cox Ford thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast. Louisiana Lift, specializing in customer service on equipment, rental, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. Check them out online at lalift.com or call them in the Baton Rouge area at 753-5700. Well, we have a timeout on the field. Just over 4 minutes left to go. And it's 38-13 is our score. I understand Blair Bainey has an injury report, so let's go down in the field and hear from her. Blair?
Yeah, thanks, guys. We are down here and got an injury report on UHIGH's Brendan Holiday. Everyone worried about him. It looked like it was something pretty serious, but thankfully it's not. It's actually just a bruised quad, so nothing to worry about, and he will be able to get back into this game. Not a whole lot of time left for him to do that, but the good news is he's okay to do so. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Blair, and all our injury reports brought to you by Peak Performance Physical Therapy, a proud sponsor of the Cox Ford Game of the Week for over 10 years.
Well, that's good news for Brendan. Maybe just a bruised thigh. I've had a few of those. Those are not fun, and they say you got to rice those. Rest, ice, compression, and elevation, so he's going to need a lot of ice to get him back healthy. So,
1st down and 10. Looks like Brosette is back in the game as the running back here for the Cubs. And he'll get the carry. Looking around and up to the 20-yard line before he's tackled. Flag on the play. It's in the Cubs backfield, and this may be coming back as the flag is thrown in the area where you usually see a holding call.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul. Still 1st down.
I believe that might be the first penalty on UHIGH in the 2nd half, and that was one of the things Chad Mahaffey talked about at halftime, and they had a bunch of penalties in that 1st half. They wanted to clean that up, and it looks like they've done that.
Well, we know coaches are never pleased, and, although they're up 38-13, Coach Mahaffey's going to go back and look at this film, and there's some things that they can improve on. Obviously they gave up some big chunks of yardage in the 1st half, and then really what disrupted their flow on offense was that they were giving up penalties and also had some face masking penalties that kept Denham Springs drives alive.
1st down and 10 now at the 36-yard line. 1st down and 20. And now they're asking for the play clock to be pushed back up to 25. UHIGH's got a big game next week. They'll be taking on West Feliciana. West Feliciana 6-1, the Saints are. Heading into this week's action for Denham Springs, they're going to have to try to regroup and get back into district play, looking for a win. Brosette showing that excellent vision as he looks for somewhere to run. And Garrett Osborne, the senior, in on the stop once again. We'll have Denham Springs again next week against the Zachary Broncos in a big district matchup.
But you know, Jeff, a game like this is really what starts the debate, I think, in high school football. Here you are, you got a 3A football team who's in the select division. You got a 5A football team, 2 classifications higher in the non-select division. Granted, UHIGH has not always been this dominant. I think it's been the 80s since they've been in the state championship game.
1988.
But, you know, you wonder, is this what the LHSAA is trying to stop? You know, the fact that you can have a 3A football team in the select division walk in a 5A school and really just be the more dominant football team.
Well, it's, of course, the select and non-select vote. Second holding penalty called here on this drive against UHIGH. That was the decision by the principals to make that, not necessarily the executive director or the directors of the LHSAA.
Sure,
but,
sure.
You know, I think, yeah, obviously the reason for the vote was for public schools that felt that select schools had a certain advantage over them, and they wanted to have their own postseason. So I think you're going to see some different proposals brought up when the annual convention occurs again in January, and I think it's going to look a little different next year. I'm not saying it's going to go back to the way it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are some changes to it. Second down and long. Dylan Moses with the football to the 25, 20, 15, and he's still on his feet. Touchdown, touchdown Cubs.
Well, and I'm not sure there's any drop-off, you know, when you look at a run like that but by Dylan Moses. Obviously, he's come in to replace Nick Brissett, but, I mean, it kind of looked like a man amongst boys out there. You know, he sees some daylight in the line of scrimmage, but after that, I mean, the rest is just him, the cutting back and forth, pushing tacklers off of him and just willing his way into the end zone. Unbelievable run by Dylan Moses.
7th time this season the UHIGH Cubs have scored 40 or more points. They got 44 on the board here as Matthew Bird tries the extra point. And it's good. 44-13, 2:02 left to go in this game. Denham Springs will have one more chance and one more chance to watch Dylan Moses. Wow, fantastic run here.
Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from those that serve aces to those that serve others. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
They're coming from Zachary, Central, and Denham. Coming for the all-new 2014s now on site at Brian Harris Chevrolet. The 2014 Chevy Cruze, now just $16,995. The all-new Malibu, just $19,995. Save big on the all-new 2014 Camaro. Intro priced at $22,495. No matter where you start, finish with our best price on a 2014. Find new roads to Brian Harris Chevrolet on Florida.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from long drivers to unlucky drivers. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Who do you call when you've been in an auto accident? Call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. We'll tow you in, take care of all your body work so you can get back on the road. Rated #1 by customers and preferred by most insurance companies for their quality work. We can handle all your auto glass needs too. At Donaldsonville Glass and Body, we not only care about your vehicle, but more importantly, we care about you.
Here you look at the Mellow Joy scoring drive, capped off by an impressive run by Dylan Moses. His 5th touchdown run of the season. Matches his season-long rush of the year, too, 44 yards. Out to kick the football there was Aiden Gale. And a nice return here for Denham Springs. Caleb Pace, a sophomore. Let's take a look at our airing it out play of the game. Manny Miles had a nice night, and this was a really nice throw to Brant Broussard.
Yeah, this was his last touchdown pass, and just great timing right in the back of the end zone. Great touch on that football by Manny, and he's had another outstanding night.
First down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Just a minute and 53 seconds left to go. Getting a chance there to carry the football, picking up just a couple of yards. New Denham Springs Yellow Jacket ball carrier. That was Chris Roddy, a junior, 6'1", 190 pounds. Picks up about 4 or 5.
But, you know, Jeff, I get what you're saying. You know, the principals are the ones who make the votes. But I'm wondering if it's games like this that, you know, have brought what is up on us in high school football today. You know, the John Curtises used to even play up a division. Yeah. You know, the Evangels would play up a classification. And here you see a 3A team really showing its dominance over what was a traditional 5A power.
Second down and 7. Handoff here up the middle again by Roddy. Well, a couple of the proposals that are being thrown out there is to have kind of a performance-based, you know, if UHIGH wins a couple state championships or appears in a couple state championships, they would actually move up in classification or allow certain schools to move all the way up to 5A. New quarterback into the game now for Denham Springs, Tyler O'Donohue. And those type of proposals are thrown out there to maybe try to bring the two sides back together again when it comes to select and non-select. As Roddy gets another carry. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Bottom line is for this year, you'll have 9 state championship games. And UHIGH, you can make the argument, is playing in the toughest bracket in the postseason. They'll be going up against Parkview, John Curtis, Notre Dame, Turlings Catholic.
Yeah, they have no easy route to get there. Granted, they're number 1 in the standings, but some of the toughest teams and, you know, some of the high school programs that are often talked about, they will have to go through. And so this is not in any way pointing it against UHIGH. It's just that, you know, when you start seeing these types of matchups, I think that's what's brought the discussion about.
Well, that's our final play of the game and our final score, 45-13. The UHIGH Cubs improve to 8-0 for Drew Nettles and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. They fall to 3-5. They've lost 3 in a row now, but they played hard here tonight. They ran the football well, but there were just some mistakes. 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions by Torres Kitchen. The 2 block punts were killers for Denham Springs. One of them happened towards the end of the second quarter. Another one happened in the third quarter as Denham was trying to get back into the game. And UHIGH does what UHIGH does. They give you a lot of Nick Brosette, and then you mix in Manny Miles and his smart decisions with the football. They're just so tough to beat. And they proved that here once again tonight. Blair Bainey is standing with Chad Mahaffey. Let's go down to the field.
Thanks, guys. Coach, you were really anxious tonight to test your team against Denham Springs offense. How do you think they did?
I think defense really did a nice job. I mean, they created turnovers in the first half, which was huge. And, you know, they got a big old team, and they're physical, and they really did test us. And they moved the ball on us some, but our guys I fought really hard, and I think that's going to pay big dividends for us playing a team like this.
And no doubt about it, your offense was unbelievable tonight. Very explosive. They played all 4 quarters without a doubt, just like you said they would. How proud are you of Manny Miles?
Very proud. You know, he took some shots in there. They were especially in empty, they were sending some people, and he took a couple shots, but he does a great job of trying to stay poised, and proud of him, proud of the whole offense.
And your team's undefeated still and haven't been to the Dome since the 80s. Any pressure that y'all are feeling to really make this season one to remember?
Well, I mean, we got a long way to go. We got to, battle for a district championship next week. West Feliciana's a great team, and so we're just going to focus on that. But these guys have done great all year, and I'm really encouraged by the way they come to work each week.
Congratulations to you. And the good news, like I was telling you before, you get another cooler. So that's for you, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. All right, Jason, Jeff, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Blair. Great job down on the sidelines. That does it for our broadcast. We'd like to thank our producer and director, Laura Howard, and the entire crew here that helped us put this game on. Also want to thank the great people at Cox 4, led by Jason Ferret, Eric Coleman, Jim Hogg, and Marlo Layson. Next week on the Baton Rouge Cox 4 Game of the Week, we head to Zachary for a District 4 5A matchup between the Broncos and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Again, our final score, the UHIGH Cubs victorious here tonight over the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets, 45-13. So for Blair Abaney, Jason DeQuare, I'm Jeff Palermo. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week.